Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:02. I'm Manda Factor, and here's what's happening. Seattle police are looking for a gunman who shot 3 women in North Seattle overnight. It happened just after midnight near 96th and Aurora. One woman was hit multiple times. All 3 are in stable condition. State troopers are also investigating a road rage shooting on Highway 2 in Everett. A driver opened fire on a 38-year-old man last night and took off. A city council committee voted 6-3 yesterday to delay Mayor Katie Wilson's free school meals plan by a full year over cost concerns. The full council votes next week. The Kaiser Canyon fire on the Colville Reservation has scorched 79,000 acres, now only 3% contained. The Colville tribe eased some evacuation orders, but hot, dry weather is expected to make things worse. And there's a new measles case in Clark County, an unvaccinated child who recently traveled internationally. It's 5:03, time for an early check on your Thursday morning drive. Chris Sullivan's here. Good morning.
Good morning, Amanda. No problems out there as we start our day. We're looking at all green on the map. Just a little hesitation on southbound I-5 right by the Boeing Freeway as you're working your way into South Everett over 526, but really nothing too big of a deal. 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The other side of our drive, coming up from Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Freeway speed, 30 minutes there. Better way to Seattle's only 35 as well. 35 up the Valley Freeway, Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's 15. Lake bridges are good, so we are off to a very good start. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
It's now 5:03. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday morning. It's the 23rd of July, and I'm having a technical issue at the moment, so bear with me. We're going to get to start here in a moment and talk about the latest threats from President Trump on Iran. And I think I can do that for you right now. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz with Brad Melke. She's reporting from Jordan.
At some point in a war, the costs begin to catch up with you. And in several ways, that's what felt like was happening yesterday in Washington. First, there's the cost of the war itself, the money. This week, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth went in front of Congress to ask for more money for the Pentagon. He estimated the cost of the Iran war so far was at least $37 billion.
Without these funds, we face critical shortfalls that threaten our ability to also simply pay our service members, rapidly replenish equipment and munitions, and sustain vital operations without disruption.
Then there's the political cost. Republicans effectively had to go on record yesterday voting to continue funding this operation by approving several budget measures. Democrats refused to go along with it.
He has told us over 40 times now that a deal is near and the war will be over soon. But now he is asking for us to just trust him, it'll work out fine.
The problem is, that is making it tougher and tougher on these Republican lawmakers. Remember, voters were told this war would take 4 or 5 weeks. Now it's 4 months. The ceasefire, heralded by the Trump administration as a diplomatic breakthrough, well, it's now been ripped to shreds. And Trump says Iran is not ready to make a deal to replace it yet.
They want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in it.
To exit the region now would be to accept a loss, really, but to pursue it could become a quagmire, a political catastrophe. Well, then there's the greatest cost of all. Yesterday, 4 bodies were flown back to Joint Base Andrews. These were 3 service members killed in Jordan, another in Iraq. And as President Trump paid his respects, you get the distinct impression he is being forced to face the realities of this conflict all at once. So let's go to ABC's Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz, who is still in Jordan right now, in the Mideast where some of these deaths happen. First off, Martha, can you just set the scene for what this dignified transfer of remains would have looked like yesterday?
These are incredibly solemn ceremonies, as you can imagine, just from the name. Dignified transfers. Bringing home America's service members from conflict zones who have died serving and sacrificing for our country. And of course, 3 of the soldiers were killed in an Iranian attack here in Jordan on a base. And the 4th was killed while they were trying to detonate a controlled detonation of an Iranian drone. This is Iran's fault for these deaths, and I think to bring them home and have their families there and see those coffins, caskets come off that military aircraft is just a powerful, powerful punch in the gut, and something they will never, ever forget. Of course, the president was there as well.
For me, it's one of the hardest things to do as a president, but has to be done.
Secretary Hegseth was there as well, with some comments earlier about those soldiers that are pretty controversial. But it is something I have seen before, these caskets coming off aircraft, and truly it is a sobering moment for any American.
And then the politics for the president and for Secretary Hegseth. I mean, it does seem like a moment where you're reckoning again with like the human toll of this war. How have they kind of responded to this new event, these new deaths, and what do they plan to do about them?
This week, we've heard the president compare it to deaths in Afghanistan or Vietnam or Iraq, and it really can't compare. First of all, this is a war that President Trump began, and we have already had 18 service members die. We've heard the president say that these soldiers who died supported him and what was happening in Iran, and they don't want Iran to get a nuclear weapon.
All of them said very strongly, we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. They won't have a nuclear weapon.
I certainly don't know whether that is true or not. You had a 19-year-old, a 25-year-old, very young, and they were here in Jordan. So obviously they had orders to come here. They did that with honor, but it has become politicized.
And as far as where to target next, because you had said, like, yes, the U.S. will sort of continue to expand its strikes. President Trump said yesterday that the U.S. will start destroying bridges and power plants, basically for each Iranian attack that occurs in the Strait of Hormuz. What would that sort of mean for this conflict?
Well, that's a pretty extraordinary statement, Brad. We've heard him say that before, but if he actually did it, international law does not allow that kind of attack on civilian infrastructure on purpose. If you accidentally hit something and you're doing a bombing run on military targets, that's one thing. But to say and follow through and bomb civilian infrastructure is potentially, according to international law, a war crime. And of course, the Iranians immediately responded to this, eye for an eye. If you do this to us, we'll do the same sort of thing to you. And we've already seen the Iranians striking throughout the Gulf. In Jordan, in Kuwait, in Bahrain. So if President Trump decides to do that, that is a whole new level of fight.
Well, and we've also heard the U.S. sort of throw around the idea of attacking Iranian nuclear facilities, like Pickaxe Mountain is something we've heard about. But at the same time, we're hearing about a potential nuclear deal in Saudi Arabia. What would that deal be, and how significant would that be?
That kind of head spinning this week, given the fact that they want to destroy the uranium that Iran has, and that is understandable. But at the same time, U.S. officials telling us that they will make this deal with Saudi Arabia, where the Saudis can develop, the United States will help them develop a nuclear program, a civilian nuclear program, but will be able to enrich their own uranium. That is something that would not go over well, certainly with the Israelis, and people worry, as they have for decades, about nuclear proliferation. So this, too, it will be a pretty controversial move.
Yeah, especially you got families of the victims of 9/11, some of them saying yesterday that this is empowering the same regime that really launched those attacks more than 20 years ago. Martha Raddatz, there in the Middle East right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brad.
Beluga whales, they're known for their pearl white skin, wide smiles, and a famous children's song.
Baby beluga.
That's right, Rafi, let them know. But now one pod of belugas will be famous for something else, a daring rescue mission. This week, we have seen something extraordinary. 30 beluga whales loaded up and transported far and wide before it's too late. So here's what happened. For years, these whales stayed in a habitat at Marineland, this famous water park on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
Everyone loves Marineland.
It was a privately owned business founded by a Slovenian immigrant named John Holer, who died in 2018. Since then, the park has become insolvent. 2 years ago, it shut its doors to the public. Trainers have been taking care of the animals, but warned they couldn't much longer. If they couldn't find these belugas new homes, ownership said, they'd have to be euthanized. Well, in recent weeks, American aquariums have stepped forward, saying they will take in members of the pod. This week, the whales started moving. First, they were lifted into these big nets with little holes for their flippers. Then they were put in specially built tanks that can fly on airplanes.
What makes this project very unique is just the sheer scale of it. The pace of having to put all of this together so quickly at such a large scale makes this an unreal project.
So far, they've arrived at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago and SeaWorld Antonio.
We've got about 2.5 million gallons of water in our facility, and so yeah, they're going to come in. We want to just take it slow. We're going to let them go at their pace.
Kate McCullough from SeaWorld says belugas are incredibly complicated creatures, not just because of their physiology, but because they're extremely social. Like, part of the calculus of splitting these whales up was figuring out which among them are most closely bonded. Now they're about to have new neighbors like dolphins and other beluga who will see them through a gate.
We are going to have people monitoring them 24 hours a day for several months. Who are they wanting to go say hello to? Who wants to say hello to them? That gives us a lot of good information.
Others have yet to be sent to SeaWorld San Diego, the Georgia Aquarium, and a habitat in Valencia, Spain. But while this whole orchestration has caretakers breathing a sigh of relief, it does raise broader questions for marine parks around the world. Animal activists had argued for years that Marineland was not the right place for these creatures. The Canadian government denied a proposed move to China over fears the animals would be mistreated. Now, American activists are demanding these whales not be bred in captivity. That's the law in Canada. If you're wondering, scientists say these belugas cannot be released into the wild. They wouldn't survive, at least not yet. But some have floated the idea of beluga sanctuaries in fenced-off ocean water. There's already one such facility in a bay in Iceland, a warm home in the frigid waters they love.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's a 5:14 and a nice change in the weather for today. We will likely see some showers for this morning. 79 the high for today will be a mix of clouds and sun for the bulk of the day. For tomorrow, looks nice, warming back up to 84 clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. So far the weekend, Saturday looks mainly dry, 74, mix of clouds and sun, but we will likely see some showers again on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 63 degrees. Coming up, a closer look at the autopsy report of Nolan Wells. He's a young man whose mysterious death is still under investigation. We'll get to part 2 of Start here next on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues. My, oh my!
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
If you're over 62 and worried about how far your retirement savings will go, I'd like you to hear this. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, honest advice you can trust, 425-649-6000.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners live at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Sunday, August 2nd. Go to mynorthwest.com/win for contest rules and your chance to win.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
It's now 5:19 on your Thursday morning. Back to ABC's Start Here program now. ABC's Aaron Katersky describes what was found in a new autopsy of 18-year-old Nolan Wells.
The family of Nolan Wells has been begging for answers ever since his body was found on a barrier island just southeast of Biloxi, Mississippi. This was supposed to be the site of casual teen boat parties. 18-year-old Nolan had gone out with his friends, so why had they come home without him? How had he died? And crucially, was there any foul play here? An autopsy, you'd think, should be able to give you at least some of those answers. The family's attorney, the renowned civil rights litigator Ben Crump, had made it clear he wasn't taking the word of local police at face value. Recently, as they await the findings of the medical examiner's results, he commissioned a forensic pathologist of his own to perform a second autopsy.
Any parent that would be in this situation, you would do anything to find out what happened to your child.
Yesterday, we saw some of those preliminary results, but these family members might still be waiting for answers. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has been tracking this all. Aaron, what did the new autopsy find?
The autopsy was inconclusive, Brad. The pathologist that the family hired to conduct this second autopsy on the body of Nolan Wells said the cause and manner of death are undetermined.
He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation.
And in part, that reflects a reality. The first autopsy had removed organs and dissected the body appropriately, so the pathologist noted, but that didn't give him the ability to then look at certain organs and the neck structure, and so he said he just could not determine how Nolan Wells had died.
Well, and I didn't know this until yesterday, Aaron, that apparently it is common for a coroner to send a body to a colleague, but not necessarily with all the organs. So if you don't have the throat of the victim, does that affect how you even investigate a potential drowning?
Certain organs are not included, and the pathologist said that in all likelihood, the neck structure was still being analyzed by the pathologists in Mississippi who are conducting the official autopsy, and the results of that are pending, Brad. And while the autopsy that the family commissioned did note some discoloration.
Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head.
That could be from trauma, but it could also be from natural decomposition of the body.
He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent.
And with autopsies associated with what may turn out to be a drowning death, they're really more useful in ruling things out. There was no obvious gunshot wound, say, or stab wound. We know, according to sources, the body of Nolan Wells was found face down in the water, and finding a body face down is consistent with a drowning. And remember, the initial suspicion, Brad, is that Wells drowned. Now, the circumstances leading to that, what led him into the water, the autopsy can't determine that. And the family is still agonizingly waiting to understand how their son could have died. Was it foul play? Was it an accident?
Well, and that's the thing, because say he did drown. Like you said, he was found floating near the spot where this gathering had been, right? So you'd expect then his friends to have some idea of either he was incapacitated or he went off by himself or he was with someone. And yet it doesn't seem like we have any of those answers, at least at this point, do we?
The Sheriff's Department in Jackson County has talked to a number of Wells's friends, some of the people that were with him on the boat, at least at the outset.
We're working towards the same goal as the family. We want a thorough investigation, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
The sheriff has told us that they have been cooperative, and some of those friends have said that they and Wells spent the day drinking and hanging out. They said when it came time for them to go back, that Wells had indicated he wanted to stay behind, perhaps to try and hang out with a girl that he had met. The circumstances of why he did not get on a return boat have not been made clear, at least publicly. And if he did stay behind, what happened to him then? That has not been made clear either. But according to our sources, the Sheriff's Department has not found any video or any eyewitness putting Wells on a return boat back to the mainland.
Right, and toxicology reports still outstanding, too. Could take weeks. All right, Aaron Katursky tracking all this. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:24. Much different look to the day. We're going to see showers this morning and a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon hours. Only 79 degrees today. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, warming up to 84. And then the weekend, 50-50. For Saturday, mainly dry. We'll see sun breaks at 74. Overnight lows around 59. And then Sunday, look for some partly cloudy skies. A few showers are possible. 75 on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy. It's 63 degrees. Coming up in Charlie's commentary, why the sea lions of Puget Sound need to be put in their place. That's just ahead on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO.
Are you in pain?
How's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
John Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, don't assume you need a whole new system. Home Comfort Alliance, their approach is simple. Repair first, replace only if needed. Their techs diagnose the real problem because a simple fix can often get the cooling back up again and not cost you a full replacement. Need something new? Ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
All right, I'm very excited to be speaking with Phil Mitchell. He is a new advertiser on the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to talk about something that I cannot stress enough, how valuable this is for anybody who's looking for a car. You guys do oil changes for life. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it means if you buy a car that qualifies for oil changes for life, we're going to give you 5 oil changes a year. And they're about $150 now. You know, oil goes up and down, but guess what? We're going to change the oil for as long as you own that vehicle on us.
Like you're saying, oil changes are $150. They're even more if you're driving a diesel. And so you hold on to a vehicle for 10 years, that's like $10,000.
Oh, it can be even more than that. We've got a guy that's been changing his oil since 1985. He's gotten more oil changes than the car cost, and we're still changing it for him because that's what we do. And we're your lifetime dealer.
And this is what people are going to get at Sunset Auto Family.
That's right. Great service for as long as you own the vehicle.
Oil changes for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. And people do like that.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Ugh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:31. Here's what's happening. Developing this morning, someone opened fire on a car full of women in North Seattle early this morning. Seattle police say the three women were in a silver Ford on North 96th Street near Aurora when a dark sedan pulled up in front of them. A suspect got out and started shooting. One woman hit multiple times. The other two were hurt by shattered glass, all three in stable condition. The shooter fled south on Aurora. The Gun Violence Reduction Unit is investigating. If you saw anything, call the Seattle Police Violent Crimes Tip Line. The State Patrol is investigating a road rage shooting on Highway 2 in Everett. Two vehicles were getting onto the highway last night when some kind of altercation broke out. The eastbound lanes between I-5 and Homeacres Road were shut down for hours. They reopened just before 11. 7 dogs are safe after deputies rescued them from a hot van in Pierce County. The sheriff's office says the dogs, including 4 puppies, were left inside a van parked in the direct sunlight Tuesday as temperatures climbed to 97 degrees. Several Good Samaritans had already managed to remove 6 of the dogs from the car.
Potatoes! Look at the potatoes! Oh my gosh, okay.
Animal Control removed the last dog from the van. All 7 dogs were taken to the Humane Society. Authorities remind pet owners never leave animals in parked vehicles during hot weather, even for a short time. A longtime Seattle Mariners fan was hoping to score an Andres Munoz bobblehead Tuesday. Well, she got it, and she also got hit in the eye with a baseball. Pick up the action here in the 8th. Julio Rodriguez at the plate.
Julio with a home run out toward the pen in left center field.
That ball smacked Nikki Jones right in the face. Good news, nothing's broken. Even the better news, Munoz, her favorite player, reached out to her on Instagram to make sure she's okay. She posted a screenshot of the exchange on X, as well as a picture of the ball signed by Julio that says, "I'm sorry, get well soon." So, was it worth the black eye?
Honestly, yeah, it was. It's actually going to be a cool story to tell people. I got hit by a ball at a baseball game, and I got a black eye from it.
By the way, the Mariners lost yesterday. 5:33, time for a check on traffic now. And for that, here's Chris Sullivan.
And we're already starting to see some building volume on the northbound 167 corridor in and around the Auburn interchange at Highway 18. Already up over 40 minutes from Puyallup up to Renton. Also seeing some slowing eastbound 512. That's become the norm heading down the hill, trying to get to the valley. A lot of volume there today. Then you get up to Renton to Bellevue. You'll pick up the pace. Only 15 minutes on that drive. Olympia to Tacoma, quiet with a 30-minute drive for you guys. Federal Way to Seattle, 35 as well. Starting to see just a little hesitation around 320th. Coming down from the north end, still a very good drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Only 35 minutes for you guys. Lake bridges are quiet, so we're off to a pretty good start, but again, we all know the storm shows up a little before 6 a.m. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We survived the heat. We're going to be at 79 for today. Look for some showers possible this morning. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun. For tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sunshine for the afternoon as we wrap up the week. 84 tomorrow. The weekend, mainly dry on Saturday and 74. We might see some showers again on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy at 63.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
It's now 5:35. In Charlie's commentary, why sea lions are hurting your wallet.
I love sea lions. I want that to go on the record before we go any further, because by the end of this, you're going to wonder. They bark like drunk uncles. They lounge on docks like they're paying mortgage. They're genuinely fun to watch. The tourists love them. I love them. But I put off something for years. I hate saying it. Some sea lions gotta die. Now, before you close the app and write that angry email, hear me out, because this is really a story about your commute, your money, and one of the most expensive exercises in futility the state of Washington has ever attempted. In 2013, a federal judge ordered Washington to replace more than 800 salmon-blocking culverts under state highways. Deadline 2030. Early estimates said about $2 billion. The state has now spent or committed close to $4 billion. The forecast to finish as high as $7.8 billion. That's billion with a B. For culverts, which are, if you've never thought about it, basically pipes under the road that let water through. We are spending the GDP of a small island nation on pipes. That money comes out of the state transportation budget, the same budget that's supposed to fix your pavement. The state ranks near the bottom of the country for road quality. You know it every time you hit one pothole on your commute that you swear you've reported twice. One reason there's no money to do basic maintenance is that billions are going to culverts instead. And the whole point of all that spending, all those orange cones, all those detours, all the traffic backups is one thing. Get adult salmon back to the gravel so they can spawn. That's it. That's the $7 billion mission. Get the salmon home. Now, follow that fish. It clears the culvert. It reaches the river. It survives the journey. And at the last checkpoint, a few hundred yards from the finish line, it swims into a wall of sea lions who've been waiting there like an all-you-can-eat buffet with a government-funded conveyor belt. $7 billion to build this. Nobody willing to police the end of it. We've been here before. In the 1980s, a sea lion, the fisherman named Herschel, parked himself at the Ballard Locks fish ladder and ate steelhead like room service. We tried firecrackers. We tried rubber buckshot, hazing boats, everything short of a strongly worded letter. By the mid-90s, the run collapsed from 2,500 fish to under 200. That group of sea lions actually left on their own. There is nothing left worth eating. Well, 40 years later, there's a bill in Congress. It's sponsored by Michael Baumgartner, conservative Republican from Spokane, and Emily Randall, progressive Democrat from the Olympic Peninsula. These two agree on almost nothing. Behind them, the treaty tribes, the sport anglers, the state's own fish biologists, groups that have spent 40 years arguing with each other, they agree on this. The bill lets the state and tribes remove, i.e. kill, sea lions at specific trouble spots under hard caps humanely by professionals. And if the science says the removals are no longer needed, well, the program shuts down. We know it works. At Willamette Falls in Oregon, the steelhead run face an 89% risk of extinction. After limited removals started, that risk fell to 11%. A few hundred animals out of populations in the tens of thousands. Compare that to the $1 million a day you and I are spending on culverts. We'll spend the billions. We'll endure traffic backups and the construction. We just won't pull the trigger. The sea lions are doing exactly what 2 million years of evolution built them to do, in a spot we built for them under a law we wrote. Every other fisherman on those rivers lives with a season, a limit, and a count. Tribal, sport, commercial, all of them. The bill asks that the last unlimited diner at the table live with a limit too. I still love the drunk uncles on the dock. I'd just rather they didn't eat the $7 billion we're all paying for.
You can find all of Charlie's commentaries at mynorthwest.com. Coming up, your political insights from ABC's Mike Dubusky. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. compliance. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Here are your political insights from ABC News. The president pays a visit to the Environmental Protection Agency today, after which he's scheduled to greet the 2025 World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, at the White House. The U.S. launching new strikes on Iran overnight, the 12th round of strikes in as many days. The Strait of Hormuz remains effectively closed right now. President Trump at a rally in Marietta, Georgia, says it doesn't matter to him.
In fact, if you combine us and Venezuela, we have about 62% of the world's oil market. So we don't need straits. We don't need anything.
Earlier, the president attended the dignified transfer of 4 service members killed last week in the fighting. And on Capitol Hill, the House has adopted a new budget resolution for a $95 billion package covering everything from defense to farm aid to parts of the Save America Act. Lawmakers also passing a measure that would ban members of Congress from trading individual stocks. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
It's 5:44. Check on our forecast. Much different today. 79 the high. We might even see some showers this morning. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. For tomorrow, warming back up to about 84, but the heat wave is over. Morning clouds tomorrow, sunshine for the afternoon. So far, it looks like Saturday is your best day for the weekend. It'll be mainly dry. We might see some showers again on Sunday, though. Highs both days in the mid-70s. It's 63 in Seattle right now, and coming up, the recently fired U.S. Attorney in the Western District of Washington, now suing President Trump and acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche. Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna breaks it all down next on Seattle's Morning News.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at LifePointLaw.com. That's LifePointLaw.com.
If you're over 62 and the rising cost of living is putting pressure on your budget, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. I hear from seniors all the time who love their home, want to stay in it, but are worried about how far their money will go. Property taxes are up, insurance is up, monthly bills keep rising, and some of them still have a mortgage payment. A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating that mortgage payment, paying off debts, and giving you more room in your monthly budget. Now, let me say this, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can make a real difference. When you call Best Mortgage, you work directly with me for a free consultation. I'll explain how it works, answer your questions, and tell you honestly whether it fits your needs. If you're 62 or older and want to learn more about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
He was on the job for less than an hour. Roger Rogoff was appointed to be the U.S. Attorney representing Western Washington before almost immediately getting fired by the president. Now Rogoff is filing suit. Let's dive deeper into this story with former state AG Rob McKenna. There's a lot of machinations here. I had no idea how this process worked, Rob. Can you kind of break it down for us in just plain speak?
Yeah, absolutely. So normally, U.S. attorneys are nominated by the president, confirmed by the United States Senate. And, for much of our country's history, that's exactly how the process has worked. Unfortunately, in the current Trump administration, the Senate is refusing to, even consider his nominees in many cases. And so he's appointing people to serve in the first assistant position instead. Well, first of all, he appoints them to serve as sort of an interim U.S. attorney. And then when they don't get confirmed under a federal statute, they can no longer keep the job. So then what he's been doing is moving them into the first assistant U.S. attorney position, which is the number 2 job in the office, and he just leaves the U.S. attorney position vacant. But there's another statute at play here as well, which says that if a U.S. attorney has not been confirmed by the Senate, then the federal judges in that district, here we're talking about the Western District of Washington, are empowered to appoint someone. And so they've done that now a couple of times in the current Trump administration. And both times, including this recent case, the president has fired the U.S. attorney they've appointed. And, that's within his power to do, he says, because, and the Supreme Court just affirmed this, these executive appointments are under the control of the president. It's just that these particular appointments also require Senate confirmation. So you have this kind of stalemate that's occurred, and now you have the courts involved as well.
So we have the courts. There is a perfectly legal way for them to appoint somebody as the U.S. attorney. You have the president who's within his bounds appointing somebody and then bringing him down to, first chair or whatever.
Yes.
This is something that seems like it's going to be in conflict and no easy resolution.
It is in conflict. So the judges of the Western District contacted me some months ago and asked me to chair a vetting committee to look at applicants for the vacant U.S. attorney position. They had not appointed the person who Trump wanted, who the Senate would not confirm. Our senators refused to allow that nomination to advance. That individual, Neil Floyd, is an immigration or former immigration judge. They don't like him. So the judges asked me to lead a committee to vet applicants. We did that. One of the applicants was former Superior Court Judge Roger Rogoff. We advanced his name and the name of other candidates back to the courts that we think these people were qualified. They chose Judge Rogoff for the position, and then he was promptly fired. So, Judge Rogoff can bring a legal action. There is a problem when you don't have a U.S. attorney some criminal defense attorneys are saying, well, prosecutions aren't valid if you don't have a sitting U.S. attorney. But he's his case will run up against this executive power to hire and fire executive branch officials, a power that the U.S. Supreme Court only just recently affirmed in the case you and I and Manda talked about, the Slaughter case. That's the former FTC commissioner who Trump fired, and the court upheld the president's power to fire people who are on the FTC. And U.S. attorney is an even clearer case, the administration will argue, because they're always appointed by the president, except in an unusual circumstance where the court appoints. So we have a standoff here, sort of three corners, right? You got the courts, you got the president, the executive branch, and you've got the legislative branch. So all three branches of government are mixed up in this. And unfortunately, it's the U.S. Attorney's Office which is suffering because they need leadership. It's a very important office. It prosecutes federal crimes ranging from narcotics and human trafficking to bank robbery. So it's a problem for the office. They're still functioning. There are a lot of really good people over there, but not having a leader is obviously a problem for them. And now you've got criminal defense attorneys claiming that not having an appointed U.S. attorney calls into question the validity of prosecutions.
Does that hold any water with you? Do you believe it?
I haven't studied that argument yet. I need to dive into that and see what their arguments are. I know that across the country, district courts are concerned about it. U.S. attorneys' offices are concerned about it, but I don't know that that's a settled question by any means. I think that'll have to play out. In the meantime, I hope, for the sake of our community and for the sake of the professional men and women at the U.S. Attorney's Office, that a compromise can be reached, at least between the court and the administration, on a candidate they can both agree on. And that has happened in New Jersey. The court, the judges picked someone who the Department of Justice was satisfied with, and that person was not fired.
Does this reset the clock? Like, for example, could the president appoint Neil Floyd again as acting U.S. attorney because somebody has served in the interim for an hour, I guess?
That's a good question. It's not clear that he can. And I think if they thought they could, they would have already done that, but they haven't. This happened in the Eastern District of Washington also, by the way, where the president's nominee served for several months and then had to leave the position, was put in the first assistant U.S. attorney position. So I don't think they can just turn around and immediately reappoint. No.
Okay, and you were on the committee. You helped head this thing up, appointing Rogoff, at least suggesting his name. Did you expect him to get fired?
Well, I think we knew that there was a possibility that would happen, a real possibility, because we'd seen it happen elsewhere in the country. But the court asked us to vet a group of applicants for them, and we did that. And fortunately, there were a number of qualified individuals. It's just, frankly, I think any one of them could have been fired, probably would have been fired by the president, looking at it from where we stand now, because the acting United States Attorney General predicted or promised that would happen.
Okay. And Rob, you serve on a lot of these committees. You pick out a lot of people to, do great things. Have you considered my name for any position that you're able to reveal to me? Something prominent, something extra special.
I am waiting for just the right position for you, Charlie.
Okay.
Something especially important for which you would be uniquely qualified. So far that just hasn't come along, but I'm confident that it will.
Okay. I mean, we've talked about the Supreme Court. I guess it's not U.S. attorney. Dog catcher?
Don't undershoot.
I don't know, Rob. I think I would find a way to act like a senator and just not get his name up for confirmation. I would block that.
I knew it was you, Sully. All right. Former State AG Rob McKenna, always great speaking with you. We'll check in with you next week. Stay cool, my friend.
All right, you too. Thank you so much, Charlie. Take care.
It's 5:55. Much different look to the day. Showers are a possibility this morning, much cooler, 79 the high for today. 63 right now, and coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details on a shooting that left 3 women injured on Aurora. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Ugh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, and more. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Additional fees may apply. Member FDIC.
Don't miss the Mariners 50 season celebration night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Witness the most iconic gathering of Mariners greats in franchise history as the top 50 players are unveiled at T-Mobile Park. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Attacks and threats in the Middle East. The U.S. carrying out a 12th straight night of strikes on Iran after President Trump threatened to hit bridges and power plants if Iran attacks ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran threatening to respond with an eye for an eye. And in Washington, House lawmakers approving billions to pay for all of it.
On Capitol Hill, the House narrowly adopted a $95 billion budget blueprint, $73 billion of it for the war. as the Pentagon warns it's running out of money. The measure now heads to the Senate, where a vote could wait till fall.
ABC's Karen Waugh. The fighting driving oil prices higher. Brent crude, the worldwide standard, nearly $99 a barrel this morning. Search teams looking for people still missing after the flooding in West Virginia. Tropical storm Bertha heading west through the Gulf. It could hit the Texas coast later today. Google has been slapped with $1 billion fine in Europe over antitrust violations. This is ABC News. We're getting a new look at the safety of Waymo robo-taxis. Hey, humans, you might want to perk up your ears at this one.
A new study from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety finds Waymos are involved in nearly 70% fewer crashes compared to human drivers. Researchers noted that Waymos are especially adept at avoiding rear-end crashes, reporting the cars did so at a 91% lower rate than human drivers. The IIHS examined the Google-owned company's operations in San Francisco, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and Austin. Waymo says so far it's served more than 20 million autonomous rides. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Lawyers for the New York Times go to court this afternoon to fight a series of grand jury subpoenas they allege were an attempt to retaliate against and to intimidate reporters whose work angered President Trump. The legal fight stems from the Times reporting about security concerns related to the new Air Force One donated to the U.S. by the Qataris. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 6:02, here's what's happening.
3 women are recovering after a shooting in North Seattle early this morning. Police say someone got out of a car near 96th and Aurora and opened fire. Luke Ducey will have more in a moment.
Washington State hit a dubious new record, $614 million in lawsuit payouts and legal costs last fiscal year. Most of the money tied to foster care abuse and neglect claims.
And it is a corny morning commute for drivers headed to JBLM. A semi crashed into a ditch on the southbound I-5 exit to Thorn Lane, spilling corn across the roadway. Here's Trooper Cameron Watts.
The driver did admit that he fell asleep at the wheel, and that's why he ultimately lost control of the semi-truck.
The exit ramp remains blocked while crews clean up that corny mess.
And I'm imagining this is making a mess of the morning commute in the South Sound, Sully.
Yeah, basically anybody who needs to go to JBLM from the north, trying to, coming down from Tacoma, needs to go to the main gate now, because you can't get off at Madigan. You can't get off at Thorn Lane, Berkeley. So both of those off-ramps are basically one at this point, and the semi went over the Jersey barrier between those two exit lanes.
Mess.
So both exits are closed. It's going to be a while. They're going to have to get a Class C tow in there. They're going to have to get a crane in there. Then they're going to figure out what to do with all the corn that is there along the side of the road. So we're seeing backups already approaching that area, and then as people kind of meander down to the main gate. So plan on some delays south of Tacoma, south of Lakewood, getting into JBLM. Going the other direction, not much to talk about. Olympia to Tacoma is only 35 minutes. Under 40, Puyallup, Federal Way to Seattle, about 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's got about a 15 to 18-minute drive, and we're starting to see the brake lights now on southbound I-5 as you work your way past the Northgate area. Give yourself about 40 minutes already from Everett to Seattle, about 35 from Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, replaces only if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. At 6:04, 3 women are recovering after a targeted overnight shooting in North Seattle.
It left one of those women with multiple gunshot wounds, and we get more details live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Seattle police rushed to the scene, getting reports of multiple gunshots in the 1100 block of North 96th Street just after midnight. This is just 2 blocks west of Licton Springs Park. When police got there, they say they found an abandoned silver Ford peppered with bullet holes. A short time later, investigators learned 3 women had gone to UW Medical Center. Police say 1 woman was shot several times and was later transferred to Harborview Medical Center. The other 2 women suffered injuries from shattered glass. All 3 are expected to survive. Detectives believe the women were sitting inside that Ford when a dark-colored sedan pulled in front of them. Investigators say a suspect got out, opened fire on the vehicle, then climbed back in the sedan and fled south on Aurora Avenue. No arrests so far. Well, this happened just hours after city council members Deborah Juarez and Dion Foster appeared on the city's Seattle channel talking about hiring a full-time prosecutor to look into issues along Aurora. Here's Juarez.
To be cross-deputized to look at misdemeanors and felonies and sex trafficking.
And this is Juarez's district, keep that in mind. She also said she's introducing a new city ordinance now to close more side streets in neighborhoods after residents build their own barriers to stop gun violence on their streets.
My goal before I leave is to make sure that some of those remain permanent and give Chief Barnes the authority when they believe and deem that there is criminal activity, that the chief of police on that word can go to SDOT and say, I believe these streets are unsafe, and for these reasons I would like them closed for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, I don't know.
So that interview happened, it aired on the channel, and then again, hours later, this shooting, the violence continues. Police say, Amanda and Charlie, that truck was hit by 22 bullets.
Appreciate the update. Luke Ducey reporting live.
Newly released surveillance video shows the moment a passenger was shot on a King County Metro bus. It happened July 5th.
King County prosecutors say 36-year-old Rashad Mackey argued with riders over a missing cell phone and threatened to, quote, smoke everyone on board, then got off the bus and fired back inside, hitting a man in the chest as the bus pulled away. Casey McNerney is with the King County prosecutor's office.
It could be a third strike offense if convicted as charged under the state's persistent offender law.
You can watch the video at mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
New details have been released in the investigation of a deputy-involved shooting in SeaTac. The Valley Independent Investigative Team says the King County Medical Examiner identified the man who died as 33-year-old Frank Ho. The medical examiner ruled the manner of death a suicide. Investigators still reviewing evidence to determine the facts surrounding Sunday's incident.
The State Patrol is investigating a road rage shooting on Highway 2 in Everett. 2 vehicles were getting on the highway last night when some kind of altercation broke out. The eastbound lanes between I-5 and Homeacres Road were shut down for hours, and they reopened before 11 last night.
A 21-year-old Kent man has pleaded guilty to conspiring to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Last fall, then acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, announced his arrest.
Saeed Ali Mareh of Kent, Washington, along with other co-conspirators, used encrypted messaging applications to plan travel to Turkey and then to Syria to join ISIS as fighters.
According to the feds, they were plotting to attack LGBTQ plus bars in Detroit on Halloween. He faces up to 20 years in federal prison and will be sentenced in October.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, how'd you sleep last night, Manda?
Well, not too bad, actually.
Okay, even with the heat, you survived?
I survived.
I know you might be waking up this morning and being very glad to see clouds in the sky.
It was so refreshing
rained overnight.
Walking out the door this morning.
Yeah. Well, wherever you are, I hope you slept well and are getting up a little refreshed and cooled off. It was just not pleasant being outside yesterday at all.
Yeah, pretty smoky, too.
Yeah. Well, we'll check in with Nick Allard. Let's see how much of that smoke is going to continue coming our way. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Chris Sullivan is here checking the traffic on the 3s and keeping track of this big corn problem in the South End.
Yeah, lots and lots of corn. We're going to have a feast for the animals there along Jimothy's cousins. I think are going to be going there. They're going to be beating those
come on,
guys
this
away.
Guy fell asleep while driving.
And going off the off ramp there and basically rolled over the Jersey barrier where it splits to go to either Thorn Lane or Berkeley.
Oh, so dangerous.
And so, no injuries. Driver cited for negligent driving, just a hair below reckless. And so, this could be with us most of the morning. And if you need to go to JBLM and you're coming from the north, you have to go all the way down to the main gate.
You have a choke point coming up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I do. We're looking at changes up for the Hood Canal Bridge, primarily for people who get trapped in their neighborhood at the north end of the bridge when the bridge opens after extended closures for marine traffic. So that'll be pretty interesting. That's coming up here in a couple minutes, right?
Yep. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Well, we've been talking about the wildfires. Several are burning across eastern and northern Washington state. The biggest is the Kaiser Canyon fire on the Colville Reservation, more than 79,000 acres, only 3% contained. The Colville tribe did downgrade some evacuation orders yesterday and reopened part of Rebecca Lake Road, but the fire has come close to homes in Nispelem.
And in Ferry County, the Maudrite fire has burned 8,800 acres, zero containment there. Level 3 go-now evacuations are still in place. And near the Canadian border now, the Border 2 fire has burned about 300 acres in steep, remote terrain. Hot, dry, windy conditions are expected to make things worse there.
Questions are mounting over missing audio in the Clark County Sheriff's probe of motorist Mark Fogel's death in May of last year. Fogel was in an interview room for a DUI test when he allegedly tried to take the deputy's gun, and the deputy, in turn, fatally stabbed Fogel 17 times. Family attorneys Mark Lindquist says deputies systematically muted their body cams after Deputy Brighton Layton killed Fogel. Lindquist argues the practice violates department policy and undermines transparency promised by body-worn cameras.
The mute button exists for the limited purpose of muting confidential intelligence or tactical information. It does not exist to hide evidence.
Clark County Sheriff's Office says it's reviewing the issue and is committed to openness, transparency, and maintaining the public's trust. Lindquist says he asked for the review in anticipation of a lawsuit.
Washington State spent a record $614 million on lawsuits and legal costs last fiscal year. The Seattle Times reports the state paid more than $537 million just to settle claims, up from $500 million the year before. On top of that, legal defense costs hit $76 million. That includes nearly $44 million paid to outside law firms to help handle the caseload. Most of the money is tied to lawsuits over alleged abuse and neglect in the state's foster care system. And because Washington is self-insured, every dollar going to settlements is a dollar not going to schools, health care, or child welfare.
7 dogs are safe after deputies rescued them from a hot van in Pierce County. Sheriff's Office says the dogs, including 4 puppies, were left inside a van parked in direct sunlight Tuesday as temperatures climbed to 97 degrees. Several Good Samaritans had already managed to remove 6 of the dogs from the vehicle.
Potatoes! Look at the potatoes! Oh my gosh.
Animal Control removed the last dog from the van. All 7 dogs are taken to the Humane Society for medical evaluations. Authorities are reminding pet owners never leave your animal in a parked vehicle during hot weather, even for a short time.
7 dogs.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're all out. It's 6:12. Time for a check on the weather. Fortunately, we are going to be much cooler today. Let's bring in KIRO 7 meteorologist Nick Allard. Good morning, Nick.
You know, 95 is too much.
Yep.
That's what we got to yesterday. And then we had all the clouds push in, and we had some pockets of showers, had some thunderstorms last night. Thankfully now, we're not going to be seeing that today. What you have is a lot of cloud cover, sure, but the cloud cover or any remaining sprinkles will get out of here, and then I think you're just going to see increasing sunshine. Should be a partly cloudy to mostly sunny day, really nice day for sure, and we'll cool off to say about 79, which is normal. So just increasing sun, and you'll still see some upper level haze, but I don't think you have to worry about the terrible air quality we had overall. It's already much better. Most of us are moderate to good with a handful of unhealthy for sensitive group readings, and besides the elevated haze, it will just keep getting better today, even more so tomorrow. So upper 70s with pretty good sunshine today. Tomorrow, we're going to warm it up a little more, and I think you'll actually get to the low to mid 80s, but still nice, and just a little bit of upper level haze. After that, we are looking for some mid 70s for the weekend. I'm thinking at least mostly cloudy with a few light showers Saturday and a few sprinkles possible Sunday, say about the low to mid 70s, 73, 74, and that's all I really have for temperatures. We'll warm it up again for next week in the mid to upper 70s after some morning clouds. Then you see plenty of sunshine. But yeah, we're getting better. The air quality is improving. The temperatures are cooling off, and we're at least going to see some afternoon sunshine.
We will take it, Nick. Thank you. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 63.
Time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes with Chris Sullivan.
And the exit to Thorn Lane. Just goes, sorry, I didn't put that together till Sarah on our text line did. I was like, how did I not think about that? We can joke because somehow the driver survived in this, but what we had is a semi-truck driver carrying corn fell asleep and flipped his semi on the off-ramp from southbound I-5 to Thorn Lane, Berkeley. So that entire off-ramp is closed. So if you're heading southbound on I-5, you're going to see a pretty sizable backup getting away from Lakewood, and anybody trying to get to JBLM needs to go further south down to the main gate to get in. That's going to cause some extra slowing on northbound I-5 because now there are a bunch of other people using the main gate who normally don't. So we're starting to see a little braking there as well. 40 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma, about 40 as well from Tacoma to Olympia. Rest of the map, about average to start the day. Federal Way to Seattle, a little over 40, close to 45 now from Puyallup to Renton. Brake lights there in Auburn and at the north end. The Renton S-curve starting to activate, but a 20-minute trip to Bellevue isn't bad. A little over 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue as we start to see Revive I-5 raise its head. This report brought to you by Harborstone Credit. Your union earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today, harborstone.com/cash. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Getting trapped in your neighborhood because of nearby construction or an emergency can be a real inconvenience.
Well, getting trapped more than 300 times a year because of regular bridge lifts, that's just a giant pain in the you-know-what.
Sully is here with what WashDOT is doing to fix a problem for one community near the Hood Canal.
And traveling State Route 104 through the Hood Canal can be pretty challenging because you never know when the bridge might open for boats, leaving you idling on either side of the water or on the water for up to an hour. When the bridge reopens to traffic, you get a steady stream of hundreds of cars moving through. And if you're trying to get out of your neighborhood at the north end of the bridge, you might not find a gap to get onto the highway for a very long time. That's why the Washington Department of Transportation has made several changes north of the bridge over the last couple of years. It's added 2 new roundabouts north of the bridge to help improve access and to cut down on the number of bad crashes created by those frustrated drivers trying to shoot those small gaps. Now WashDOT is adding one more change. It has installed a traffic light for northbound 104 approaching Paradise Lake Road. That's the first road just north of the Hood Canal Bridge, and where WashDOT just installed one of those new roundabouts.
The meter will activate during periods of heavy traffic when there are backups on Paradise Bay Road. So what the meter is going to do is it's going to create gaps to allow those turning from Paradise Bay Road to enter the roundabout more easily.
WashDOT's Mark Krulish says these changes are all about safety and keeping people moving.
The roundabout itself has already been a major improvement in this regard. But during those times of peak congestion, the meter will snap into action and help create those gaps.
The new signal goes active on Monday morning, but there's no way to know when it will first turn on. That's because it's up to the bridge openings and the traffic volume.
The meter will be active on Monday, July 27th, and then a driver might see it for the first time when there's, heavy enough traffic to warrant it, and we don't know when that will be.
WashDOT did not install a corresponding southbound SR 104 traffic signal in the same area. Though backups for the bridge openings certainly create lines of traffic in that direction, there are a couple of ways to access 104 from south of the highway there. Paradise Bay Road only has that one spot. Nearly 17,000 vehicles a day use SR 104 right there, very popular recreation route. This new signal wraps up several years' worth of work, cost $11 million.
That is a lot of delay. These neighbors must be going through all the time. I wonder what's taken so long to come to this.
Well, it's one of those things where they started by looking at the traffic data there, and there were just a ton of really, really, really bad crashes there with people trying to shoot those gaps whenever we have those bridge lifts. So, this is what they came up with. Adding a signal to the roundabout is like kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of like, okay, we did it, but now we're going to add a little something extra. Because even with that roundabout, you just couldn't get in. It was like Clark Griswold in London. He just couldn't get left. And so that's what it's like. And again, Paradise Bay Road isn't a huge road, but people sometimes use that to backdoor their way up to Port Ludlow so that you don't go all the way up and you kind of work. It's pretty through there. There's a bunch of houses through there as well, but it's just a spot that backs up regularly. And we get more than 300 plus bridge lifts or openings there. It doesn't really lift. It slides out of the way. Sorry, it's a floating bridge. And so it's something needed to be done. And again, in the eyes of safety and convenience, and the light will only be activated when there's enough people coming down Paradise Bay to try to get on the road. So we'll see how it goes, but it activates on Monday. And I think, that'll just, the whole idea here is to just keep people moving and keep them moving safely.
I think European Vacation, by the way, is really the underappreciated. If you consider the first three the original trilogy, that's the underappreciated one. Well, nice of you to bring that up.
Well, only just because of the frontal nudity for the teenager when he saw that movie.
What? Family show.
So is European Vacation.
Where's the dump button?
We haven't rung that bell in years.
6:20 on Seattle's morning news.
Get back to you later, Sully.
Yeah, I think. Maybe. Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez is breaking with her party again. She joined Republicans to help pass a nearly $1.5 trillion defense policy in the House. Gluesenkamp-Perez says she supports the measure because it supports service members, strengthens national security, invests in military readiness. Now, most House Democrats oppose the bill over its spending levels and other policy provisions. The legislation now heads to the Senate, where its future remains uncertain.
A fight over school lunch money is reshaping Seattle's $1.3 billion education levy. Yesterday, a city council committee voted to delay Mayor Katie Wilson's Universal School Meals program by a year, redirecting the money to grocery vouchers for low-income students on weekends and school breaks. Council President Joy Hollingsworth says these vouchers will make a big difference for their families.
They can purchase milk, a dozen eggs, a loaf of bread, fresh fruit, a bag of rice. They can survive, be able to try to keep surviving and fill that gap.
Mayor Wilson says she's disappointed in the delay, but says she's proud the city has committed to universal school meals in 2027. Full council votes on the levy implementation plan on July 28th.
Seal pup has prompted the closure of Tacoma's Old Town Dock on Ruston Way. Parks Tacoma says the dock was closed to protect the pup, while wildlife officials determine whether its mother returns. People are asked to stay at least 100 yards away, keep dogs leashed, and avoid touching or feeding the seal pup.
And the search continues for Brita, the 350-pound pig missing from her home on Vashon Island. Owner Julia Carlson tells the Jake and Spike Show here on KIRO News Radio, whoever took Brita must likely know her.
It was either somebody who knew her well enough to be like, come on, Brita, come on, I have treats for you. Or it was a crew of a bunch of big dudes.
Carlson says there have been several unconfirmed sightings of Brita. The King County Sheriff's Office says the investigation involves an ongoing dispute between Carlson and a neighbor.
It's coming up on 6:23. We check traffic every 10 minutes. And Sully, where do we start?
We're going to start right there by JBLM in the southbound direction of I-5. You cannot get off at Thorn Lane or Berkeley. That off-ramp is closed. We had a semi lose control. Driver fell asleep, flipped his load of corn, and there's a ton of debris in there. This is going to be an hours-long issue for people heading south of Tacoma who need to get to JBLM or Madigan. Really, you're going to have to go to the main gate and work your way around to try to find your way, or come up, turn around and come up from the southbound direction, or from the south end. So this is a big time delay. There's probably about a 10-minute delay southbound right around this for people trying to figure out what they need to do there. Plus, there's a lot to look at as you drive by it. So 40 minutes from Tacoma to Olympia, also 40 from Olympia to Tacoma. We're starting to see a little bit more braking by the main gate on northbound I-5. That's because people are now sharing that gate with people who normally wouldn't be there. So plan on delays in and around that area, and that's going to be with us throughout the morning. Rest of Pierce County looks really good. Rest of the map, normal. Federal Way to Seattle, about 42, 45 minutes, depending on how you hit it. 45 as well. Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, we've got about 20. Coming down from the north end, definitely seeing brake lights materializing in the normal spots. Heaviest for both 5 and 405, either one of them, it's right there at Northgate for southbound 5. Then continuing down through Lake City, give yourself 45 minutes already. Everett to Seattle, about 42. Everett to Bellevue. Lake Bridges are still fine. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Relief from the heat, better air quality. We might even see some showers this morning. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun for today, and only 79. Tomorrow, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, 84 as we wrap up the week. And then for the weekend, it looks like we'll be mainly dry on Saturday. Some showers a possibility on Sunday. Highs both days in the mid-70s. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 63.
Coming up, we'll have more of the day's top stories. A Mariners fan who was hit by a home run ball getting some special attention. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the latest.
We'll also get to the opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
142 striking workers in Washington State have collected benefits for the unemployment that they're now entitled to per law in Washington worth $506,000.
I'm not crazy about it. I get it that it's great that you're standing up for workers, but there's no risk.
You're voluntarily saying, I'm going to step
I'm
from
stepping
my
away.
pay, and I'd like somebody else to pay it. That doesn't seem fair.
Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO News Radio.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
We've all been there. Car breaks down, you get it to the shop to fix the problem, and the next thing you know, you're quoted thousands of dollars for things not related to your issue. This is Sully. That's why I trust Bucky's Complete Auto Care. I went in for an AC check. No appointment. I just walked in. Quick diagnosis, problem fixed. No upsell for my brakes or coolant or tires. Bucky's only fixes what's broken. And with 16 convenient locations, you can get in and out with no problems. Check out Bucky's.com and drive with confidence.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:30. 3 women were hurt in a shooting in North Seattle overnight.
Seattle police say it happened just after midnight on North 96th Street near Aurora. Suspect pulled up in a dark sedan, got out, opened fire on a silver Ford the women were sitting in. The shooter then got back in the car, took off southbound on Aurora. One woman was hit multiple times, treated at Harborview. Other 2 were cut by flying glass. All 3 are in stable condition. If you know anything, police want you to call the Violent Crimes Tip Line.
A Burien man is facing assault and harassment charges after deputies say he attacked his neighbor with a metal baseball bat. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu reports it was all caught on surveillance video.
A neighborhood yelling match in Burien takes a violent turn. A home security camera captures the suspect walking into the street toward the victim, Linda Irish. Then, in the blink of an eye, he hits her with a baseball bat.
He reared back like he was playing for the M's and just swung and caught me right below my scapula.
Prosecutors say the attacker is Andy Dimitrov.
You want to go to jail?
Deputies say Dimitrov drove away with his father, then threw the bat out of the car window.
Dimitrov is currently undergoing a mental evaluation.
It's 6:32. It was a painful night at T-Mobile Park for one Mariners fan who came within inches of catching a Julio Rodriguez home run.
Only to have the baseball hit her in the face. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on what happened.
Oh, let's get into it. Imagine it's the bottom of the 8th. You're standing in the center field pen at T-Mobile Park watching the game, and all of a sudden...
There's the 1-0 pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. This is going, and it is gone. Goodbye, baseball.
Julio Rodriguez with a home run shot right toward Nicky Jones, who locked in on that baseball.
I just see it coming to me, and I'm like, awesome. I can't believe I'm about to catch this ball. And, let's just say I dropped the ball and right into my face.
Yep, hit her right above her right eyebrow.
The security there called the medic, and, they took me to the hospital.
Apparently, the speed of the ball off of Julio's bat was around 107 miles per hour. I mean, now it slows down between home plate and Nicky's eye, of course, but she's got a shiner.
My eye's feeling okay. It's completely swollen and black, so I can't even open it.
So Nicky's been an M's fan since 1995. This is game number 21 for her on the season. That fan reached out to her. She didn't get the ball. Okay, another fan got the ball, and that fan reached out to her on Facebook after the game, said he felt bad, and offered to split the ball 50-50. I don't know how you do that. It's like a ball share. You get it this week, odd number of weeks, even number of weeks. And this is what she told him.
Go ahead and just keep it. It's whatever. I'll probably catch another one in the next 10, 20 years that I've been going to games.
Kind of a funny attitude there. So instead, the Mariners gave her a baseball when she was on the stretcher. And then during and then during yesterday's game, Julio sent her a ball through the bullpen. That was really nice. The night it happened, it was Andres Munoz bobblehead night, and Nikki was trying to get Munoz to sign our bobblehead. Well, he found out what happened from his brother, and he apparently reached out to her on Instagram and asked her how she was doing. And then Julio reached out to her.
He just apologized, and I just responded back. I'm like, there's no need to apologize. Like, you hit a home run. Like, there's nothing to apologize for. It's not like you did it on purpose, obviously. So that was pretty cool.
And now she has got a cool story.
Honestly, yeah, it was. It's actually going to be a cool story to tell people. I got hit by a ball at a baseball game, and I got a black eye from it. So.
And 2 baseballs and some Instagram messages and a bobblehead.
Julio actually wrote on the ball, "I'm so sorry, get well soon."
Isn't that cool? She's taking it in stride. What a trooper. Fantastic attitude.
Okay, Luke Ducey reporting live.
Time for a check on traffic. For that, we get to Chris Sullivan. Big old mess in the South End.
Yeah, definitely a mess, a corny mess. We have a semi that rolled full of corn. Driver fell asleep, cited. This is on the off-ramp to JBLM, primarily Thorn Lane, Berkeley. You cannot get off there on southbound I-5. You can northbound, but you can't southbound. But that dual exit is closed and is going to be so for a while. And what this has done is created a lot more people who need to go to JBLM or Madigan are heading down to the main gate. That's where you got to go. So we're seeing slowing in and around the area. Overall, back and forth between Tacoma and Olympia is about 40 minutes, which really isn't too bad. Federal Way to Seattle is about 45 minutes. We got 45 up the Valley Freeway as well. Renton to Bellevue is about 22 minutes now, up to 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. Heavy brake lights now from 130th past the Force Merge, but after that, it's not bad. The 45 from Everett into the Bellevue area. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Much cooler today. A high of 79. Might have an occasional shower or two this morning. We have sun breaks this afternoon. 79 the high. 84 tomorrow. 74 on Saturday. And a chance of showers and a lot of clouds on Sunday with a high of 75. Right now in Seattle, it's 63.
From ABC News, Wall Street Now. The last 3 months were good for Alphabet. The parent to Google and YouTube posted earnings of $112 billion in the last quarter, up from $28 billion a year before, driven partly by Alphabet's investment in SpaceX. The Senate Commerce Committee has advanced a bipartisan bill aimed at strengthening a ban on Chinese cars being sold in the U.S. But Senator Ted Cruz, the chairman, sees an unintended consequence in the fine print. The bill could bar Mercedes-Benz from the U.S. Hoping to avoid cyclosporiasis by eating at home? Well, now you have to check the pantry for Amy's Kitchen low-sodium organic lentil soup. The company that makes it is recalling over 15,000 cases because of a defect that could increase the risk of spoilage. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
More layoffs at Amazon, where Reuters reports some employees at the company's Artificial General Intelligence division were given pink slips yesterday. It's unclear how many people lost their jobs. Amazon laid off 16,000 employees earlier in the year.
Several major pieces of legislation, including parts of the Save America Act, are moving on the Senate after House lawmakers passed a $1 trillion defense spending bill yesterday. News Nation Washington correspondent Gabriel Caracciolo has the latest.
Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans are celebrating. They passed a nearly $1.15 trillion annual defense policy bill, a budget bill aimed at avoiding a government shutdown this fall, and a partial ban on members of Congress trading stock. Included are parts of the president's voting bill, the Save America Act. The votes come as House lawmakers prepare to head home to their districts, where they'll have to make their case to their constituents.
The tally was 216 to 212, with 6 Democrats voting for the bill, 7 Republicans voting against it.
Pentagon says it carried another round of strikes on Iran last night. It came hours after the president attended the dignified transfer of 4 American soldiers killed last weekend in the Middle East. President Trump also issued a new warning to Iran, saying for every ship it struck in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. would destroy one bridge or power plant inside Iran. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
This as Americans continue to feel it in their wallets. The average price for regular gas up 15 cents from last week, sitting around $4.08 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy.
My heart and my prayers go to those soldiers and their families. But, this foreign policy, that we have, this frankly unnecessary war against Iran, it is now affecting the pocketbook of everyday American families.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And in Washington state, gas prices have inched up in the past week. It is up 9 cents from a week ago. The current average, according to AAA, $5.08 a gallon.
The news on oil this morning, Brent crude has topped $100 a barrel again, and Wall Street doesn't like it. Dow is down about 360 right now at 51,858. S&P 500 down 60. The NASDAQ is down 406 points.
Word for KIRO 7 pinpoint alert days. Your advance notice to stay safe in the heat, smoke, and summer storms. When weather threatens to disrupt your day and your plans, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm and alerts you day in advance. Stay informed, stay ready with KIRO 7 pinpoint weather only on KIRO 7 TV.
It's now 6:39. Soleil, love this one from Don in Tacoma on the text line. So is that corn on the curb?
It is corn on the curb. Well, not really. There isn't really a curb there.
There isn't a curb, but
yeah, it's corn on the exit, corn on the. Either way, there's a ton of corn.
Yeah.
Or for the looks like our soldiers at JBLM may not be getting any corn for a while. We have a corn semi that flipped. We'll talk about it coming up next. It's impacting the off ramps to JBLM from southbound I-5.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula.
When it comes to Dutch Bros, Ursula?
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Every time I go south, I pull up on some Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
My point is this. Starbucks is going to be moving part of their headquarters over to Tennessee. And there's a lot of people like, oh my goodness, Starbucks is going to be going. Don't you worry. There's other coffee places like, hey, y'all have fun. It's almost like the new stepdaddy. That's what Dutch Bros is about to do.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. And Lionel Richie. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets starting at $34 at livenation.com.
John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders. But after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
6:43 now. We check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And keep the corn jokes coming. They're coming in fast and furious on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line because we can have a little fun with this because nobody was injured. This could have been a lot worse. But what we have is a semi that was carrying corn going southbound on I-5, got off at the Thorn Lane Berkeley Avenue exit, and it rolled and it flipped, went over the Jersey barrier there in that exit, that split exit. And so what we have is that off-ramp is closed. So you cannot get off to get to Madigan or Berkeley or Thorn Lane there going southbound on I-5, and that's going to be that way for several more hours. They haven't even gotten the heavy machinery out there to start getting this thing cleaned out of the way. Driver fell asleep, not injured, was cited, by the way. And so everybody going to JBLM needs to go to the main gate. And so we're seeing about a 10-minute delay southbound, also about a 10-minute delay northbound, because anybody who would normally be getting off at the main gate coming up from Olympia is now sharing that with a bunch of people who are coming down from Tacoma. So again, we can have a little fun with it. Nobody was hurt, but boy, this has left a big wrench in our drive getting in and around JBLM. And if you got to get to Madigan too, adding a little extra stress to your day. The most of Pierce County though is in pretty good shape. The rest of the map looks like it should for a Thursday. Brake lights here and there. 45 minutes Federal Way to Seattle, about 45 up the valley from Puyallup to Renton. Not really as bad in Auburn as it could be, just kind of annoyingly slow. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 25 minutes. Coming down from the north end though, we're looking at about 50 minutes from Everett to Bellevue and close to an hour now from Everett to Seattle as we deal with the impacts of the Revive I-5 and the loss of the express lanes in the southbound direction of I-5. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
TJ in Gold Bar says, is there even a kernel of truth to this corn story?
Yeah, that was a good one.
In parentheses, said in a husky voice.
Yeah. Get it? Husk.
Thanks, TJ. All right. Much nicer weather-wise today. We might see some showers this morning. Otherwise, mix of sun and clouds and way cooler. 79. We had 95 in Seattle yesterday. For tomorrow, look for clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, warming up to 84. The weekend will be in the mid-70s. Possibility of some showers mainly on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 63.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has this week's Tech Talk. Some major health breakthroughs are being made thanks to new innovations in AI.
Here with Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right. So let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time. So I jump on it real fast. And then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's 6:48. Millions of people live with diseases like Alzheimer's, ALS, and Parkinson's. And for many, there's been little hope, perhaps until now.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports in today's Tech Talk, the Allen Institute is leading a new initiative to find new answers and new therapies using data and the power of AI.
Since her Parkinson's diagnosis in 2014, there have been good days and not so good days for Lisa Volanek.
Imagine getting into your car every day and the engine light is on and you have no idea what's happening and how you're going to deal with it.
In the beginning, she didn't want to face it or accept it until her symptoms grew.
Tremors and some of the dyskinesia, some of the freezing gait when you're walking. But I had deep brain stimulation surgery 2 years ago, so that has been a game changer for me.
Now, Lisa and her foundation, This is Parkinson's, are joining a global research initiative at the Allen Institute designed to accelerate the medical and scientific world's understanding of the human brain. The program is called Brain Health, run by Ed Lean, a PhD and executive vice president.
And this initiative is really about putting human brain front and center to take advantage of new technologies to get the best, deepest understanding of the human brain across the course of disease, and drive that knowledge towards developing new therapeutics based on targeting the vulnerable and affected cell populations in the brain.
Much of that research will come from collecting data from human brain samples and using the power of AI to help study how disease like Alzheimer's, ALS, Parkinson's, and Huntington's disease impact patients, with the goal of transforming the future of discovery and treatment and maybe even finding a cure.
Really give us a deep understanding of precisely what happens to the brain over the course of disease. And that knowledge is really essential for understanding the progression of disease, new targets for disease, and new therapeutic avenues for treating disease.
57 million people live with a neurodegenerative disease, and for many, there's often little hope. Most brain disease research focuses on targeting molecules and proteins linked to disease. Brain health will instead focus on studying the brain's cells and functional circuits to understand the drivers of disease, to identify the precise circuits and cell types that are vulnerable in order to find new ways to target and rescue them. It's a collaboration of 30 different organizations and institutions.
I don't think the answer is going to be found by one person in one lab. So my hope is that this collaborative effort finds the answers that I think we're so close to. And I can't believe that the Allen Institute is doing this and bringing such incredible partners together to say, again, that we're going to figure this out.
Lisa lives with Parkinson's every day, but she refuses to let the disease define her, holding on to hope that breakthrough discoveries will soon change the future for her and millions of others facing the same fight.
I think we're like this close, and I don't think it's going to take decades and decades of lab research to figure this out. I think it's going to come quicker than we think.
You know, as a reporter, I always ask people at the end of every interview, is there something important that you want to share that I have not asked you? Lisa told me yes. She had wished she'd shared with people sooner that she has Parkinson's. Instead, she held it in for years and carried a lot of shame as well, she told me. She told me that was a mistake because you're only as sick as your secrets.
Oh, say that again.
You're only as sick as your secrets, is what she says. You know, she encourages others to reach out, tell a friend, tell someone, because nobody should go through a disease like this alone. There are support systems out there.
Yeah. So many of us have been touched by this, certainly in my family, I'm sure yours. This is a disease that families are just looking for hope anywhere they can find it.
Anywhere. And hopefully this is a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
The Allen Institute does amazing work.
They sure do.
It's 6:52.
From ABC News Tech Trends. Lots of talk about a lot of AI at the latest Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event.
We are bringing Galaxy AI to more than 800 million devices within this year.
And Samsung Electronics CEO TM Rowe helped introduce some of the new devices that'll run all that AI. The flagship, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. The outside screen comes in at 6.5 inches, while the inside screen can unfold to a full 8. Samsung's Kadesh Beckford promises.
We precision milled every detail to create the thinnest Galaxy Fold ever.
The price, though, not so thin.
Pricing for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra begins at $2,099.
Go a little smaller and you get the Z Fold 8, which starts at $1,900. The third phone introduced, also a foldable, the Z Flip 8. The smallest of the bunch with a price to match, starting at $1,200. With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Remember when the iPhone came out and everybody was like, man, that's a $500 phone. Who would ever spend that much on a phone?
Oh, how about 3 times that much?
Yeah, wow. Okay, 6:53 now. We check in with Sully, who has his eyes on the corn.
Well, to be honest, can you guys lend me an ear? We're looking at the... That comes from directly from Luke Ducey out in the newsroom. He was looking to try to wait again. We are joking because no one got hurt, but this is leaving a big problem for drivers who are trying to get into JBLM, primarily for those of you heading south of Tacoma. What we had is this driver fell asleep with his semi full of corn. He rolled it on the off-ramp to Thorn Lane / Berkeley. So that double off-ramp is closed. You cannot get to the north end of JBLM from southbound I-5, and it's going to be a while before we reopen that. So you're going to have to go south and turn around, or south and use the main gate. And so we're seeing some braking there. Primarily, thank goodness this is in the southbound direction, so there isn't a lot of volume that direction. Northbound, though, we are seeing braking through that area because there are just more people going to the main gate than normal. So we're just following this one again. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and it's off the freeway. So that's, it could be a lot worse. Rest of the map, about what you'd expect. We're looking at an hour now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, 40 of those minutes from Linwood, kind of a typical day for you guys. A little lighter up I-5 from Federal Way to Seattle. We're under 45 there. We're under 45 on the Valley as well. A little braking in Auburn, a little bit at the north end, but a little pleasantly surprised there. But Renton to Bellevue is about 28 minutes. Lake Bridges, still good. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get real pricing quotes in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com.
We hit 95 in Seattle yesterday. Today, 79. Might see some light showers this morning. Otherwise, mix of clouds and sun. 63 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, we'll have more of the day's top headlines, including Luke Ducey on details on a shooting that left 3 women injured on Aurora Avenue.
And at 7:15, we'll hear from one of the candidates running against Washington Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. But the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, 'cause now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here! Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the big unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Global oil prices jumping again. Brent crude now back to $100 a barrel after President Trump's latest threats against Iran and his new warning this morning against the Iran-backed Houthi rebels. He says there will be, in his words, major military punishment if the rebels keep attacking ships. They've already targeted a pair of Saudi oil tankers. Iran also firing shots at countries around the Middle East. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Overnight here in Jordan, 6 Iranian missiles and 4 drones were intercepted, and the Kuwaiti army says drones were intercepted there as well.
Applications for unemployment benefits tumbled last week. The Labor Department says first-time claims dropped by 22,000, their lowest level in more than 50 years. Tropical storm Bertha marching through the Gulf after hitting the Louisiana coast with rain, winds, and flooding. It could hit the Texas coast later today. Google now on the hook for $1 billion antitrust fine from Europe. This is ABC News. Police in France are investigating the death of modeling scout Daniel Siad. ABC News chief international correspondent James Longman says he would introduce young women to Jeffrey Epstein.
Siad told reporters he brought young aspiring models to Epstein's apartment in Paris, but repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, claiming he had been misled by Epstein and thought he was recruiting the women for legitimate casting calls. Before his death, Siad was reportedly under investigation in France for alleged trafficking and other sex crimes. A cause of death has not yet been determined, but his lawyer tells ABC News Siad was innocent and under intense stress because of the allegations.
The search is on in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama for a woman accused of murder. The body of Jason Corltalt was found last month in Florida in a shallow grave. The suspect, a 38-year-old named Isabel Johnson, was last seen June 26th. Police say they think she's been using several aliases and disguises to evade the cops. 5 people have been arrested accused of helping her. I'm Sherry Preston. ABC News.
At 7:02, here's what's happening.
Seattle police are looking for a gunman who shot 3 women in North Seattle overnight. It happened just after midnight near 96th and Aurora. We'll get more details from Luke Ducey.
State troopers investigating a road rage shooting on Highway 2 in Everett. A driver opened fire on a 38-year-old man last night and took off.
The Kaiser Canyon fire on the Colville Reservation has scorched 79,000 acres, just 3% contained. The Colville tribe eased some evacuation orders, but hot, dry weather there is expected to make things worse again.
Washington State Patrol says drowsy driving is to blame for a semi-truck crash that shut down the southbound I-5 exit to Thorn Lane near JBLM. Truck left the roadway, spilled its load of corn across the exit ramp. Here's Trooper Cameron Watts.
It could be a while. No ETA on reopening at the moment, but we're hoping everything's on our side and we can get it cleared faster than what we think we can.
All right, Sully, traffic time. Give us an update.
Well, right now they don't even have any heavy equipment there. yet. They're going to need a big Class C tow truck. They're going to need a crane to get this thing, plus probably a couple of front loaders to get rid of all the ears of corn that are all over the place. And again, this is on the off-ramp, so not technically impacting I-5 itself, but if you're trying to go south of Tacoma, trying to get to, say, Madigan or to the north end of JBLM, you can't. Right now, that off-ramp to Berkeley, Thorn Lane, that dual off-ramp is blocked by this. So you're going to have to go down to the main gate or go down to turn around and come back up and get it from the south. But fortunately, it's off the main freeway and on the off-ramp. Again, no one injured. Driver was cited. We are seeing just limited backups around it, so that's positive. Now to the main commute where we're seeing the braking right where we should be. For the worst drive, definitely Snohomish County. Hour drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with 40 of those away from Linwood. Really heavy in the normal spots. The rest of the map maybe a little lighter than. We're a little under 50 minutes Federal Way to Seattle. We're under 45 up the Valley Freeway, and Renton to Bellevue is not quite a half an hour, and the Lake Bridges are good. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repairs earn local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. 3 women are recovering after a targeted shooting overnight in North Seattle that left one of them with multiple gunshot wounds.
Let's get more details now live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Seattle police rushed to the scene, getting reports of multiple gunshots in the 1100 block of North 96th Street just after midnight. That's just 2 blocks west of Licton Springs Park. When police got there, they say they found an abandoned silver Ford peppered with bullet holes. A short time later, investigators learned 3 women had gone to UW Medical Center. Police say 1 woman was shot several times and was later transferred to Harborview Medical Center. The other 2 women suffered injuries from shattered glass. They're all expected to survive. Detectives believe the women were inside that Ford when a dark-colored sedan pulled out in front of them. Investigators say a suspect got out, opened fire on the vehicle, then climbed back into the sedan and fled south on Aurora Avenue. No arrests so far. This happened, get this, just hours after City Council member Deborah Juarez appeared on the city's Seattle channel talking about hiring a full-time prosecutor to look into the issues there along Aurora.
To be cross-deputized to look at misdemeanors and felonies and sex trafficking.
And she also said she's introducing a new city ordinance now for her district to close more side streets to neighborhoods after residents built their own barriers, you'll remember, to try to keep the pimps, johns, prostitutes, and gun violence off their streets.
My goal before I leave is to make sure that some of those remain permanent and give Chief Barnes the authority when they believe and deem that there is criminal activity, that the chief of police on that word can go to SDOT and say, I believe these streets are unsafe, and for these reasons, I would like them closed for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, I don't know.
Meanwhile, the violence continues in that area, again, just hours after she said those words. Police say that truck, by the way, 22 bullet holes.
My goodness. Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 7:06.
We mentioned there's some relief near the Kaiser Canyon fire on the Colville Reservation. Still huge, 79,000 acres, but 2 other fires are also burning. The Maudwright fire in Ferry County has scorched 8,800 acres. Level 3 go-now evacuations are in effect. And the Border 2 fire near the Canadian border has burned 300 acres, spreading into Canada and Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Firefighters battling all 3 with more hot, dry weather on the way.
A Kent man accused of helping plot an ISIS-inspired terrorist attack on LGBTQ plus bars in Detroit last Halloween pleaded guilty yesterday to a federal terror conspiracy charge. 21-year-old Saeed Ali Mera was his alleged co-conspirators were arrested last fall. Then, acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, says they use encrypted messages to plan trips to Turkey and then to Syria to join ISIS fighters.
In their communications, they discussed detailed travel plans, physical training, weapons including firearms and IEDs, and methods to avoid law enforcement detection.
Sentencing set for October. He faces up to 20 years in prison.
A dramatic rescue in Pierce County as 7 dogs were pulled from a sweltering van during Tuesday's extreme heat. Several Good Samaritans had already managed to remove 6 of the dogs from the vehicle.
Thank God you guys broke them out.
Deputies say the animals, including 4 puppies, were trapped inside a vehicle sitting in direct sunlight with temperatures reaching 97 degrees. Animal control removed the last dog, and now all 7 are recovering after being evaluated by the Humane Society.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Glad to have you with us on this Thursday, July 3rd. It's Friday Eve.
You can always tell when it's Nick Krasia back at the board, can't you?
Yes, awesome job. Nice
you know what song this is? Can You Ear Me Knocking?
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
wondering where you were going.
Yeah.
Someone on the text line recommended a Korn song.
That's a little deep for this song, this show, but
maybe a little heavy
Stones.
too. I don't know.
Okay, David, did you do this? Sully
I
this
did.
morning.
I want to take credit for it.
Would you
because I
like to
think
say
was
it?
clever. Yeah. Oh, no. You say it, man.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Sully's here with traffic on the 3s. This morning, you are our conduit.
Wow. Yeah.
As opposed to conduit.
By the way, keep them coming on the text line.
Good job, David.
Again, we're having fun because no one was hurt.
Yeah.
We can, but the damage is done if you need to get down to JBLM. But keep them. I love it.
Oh, shucks.
Charlie.
Okay, no oyster jokes. I'm not sure if those are transferable.
No, we're ping-ponging around in Sully's brain right now. Coming up this hour of the show is a contentious race for three for Seattle's 43rd Legislative District. This is in the state Senate. 2 newcomers look to push out Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson. Going to hear from one of those candidates, Heather Marie Wilson, who will join us in the studio.
And what's coming up in the 7:35 commentary?
Congress just knocked thousands of dollars off the cheapest homes in America by deleting one 50-year-old rule. Whether your city will let those homes in, well, that is the 7:35 commentary.
It is now 7:10. Newly released bus surveillance video shows the moment a passenger was shot on a King County Metro bus July 5th. Prosecutors say 36-year-old Rashad Mackey argued with riders about a missing cell phone, threatened to, quote, smoke everyone on the bus, according to passengers. Mackey then got off and fired back into the bus as it pulled away, hitting a man in the chest. Here's Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
King County prosecutors charged him with assault in the first degree, with a firearm enhancement, and also unlawful gun possession in the first degree. What this means is it could be a third strike offense.
Mackey pleaded not guilty last week and is due back in court later this month.
Mount Rainier has now claimed 3 lives this year after a climber was killed in a rockfall over the weekend.
According to the Seattle Times, a total of 6 climbers in 2 separate parties were caught in that rockfall around 3:30 Sunday morning. This was at the 11,600-foot level on Disappointment Cleaver, which is one of North America's most popular guided climbing routes. In addition to the person who died, 3 others were hurt. Back in January, 2 climbers died in Rainier's Wilson Glacier area.
That's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi.
Another record Washington taxpayers probably are not thrilled about. The state shelled out nearly $614 million on lawsuit settlements and legal costs in the fiscal year that ended last month. According to the Seattle Times, that's driven largely by an explosion of foster care abuse and neglect claims. Settlement payouts alone topped $537 million. The state spent another $76 million on legal defense. Washington is self-insured, so all of that money comes straight from the budget. That means fewer dollars for things like schools and health care at a time when the state's already dealing with budget shortfalls.
If you're a renter and want to get a portable air conditioner to beat the heat, a new state law is on your side. Under Senate Bill 6200, which took effect June 11th, landlords generally cannot stop renters from installing portable cooling devices. Democratic State Senator Vandana Slatter, who sponsored the bill earlier this year, says the law does not require landlords to install the units.
It simply ensures tenants are allowed to use safe portable cooling devices in their own homes when extreme heat threatens their health.
For window-mounted units, landlords can restrict them if the unit blocks an emergency exit, can't be secured from falling, or would cause significant damage. They can also require an inspection or servicing after installation.
It's now 7:12. That's time for a check on the weather. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard is with us. Boy, it felt great walking out the door this morning, Nick.
Isn't it nice? Plus, the air quality is getting better, too. You know, we're mostly in the good range now with some moderate spots. You definitely do have a little bit where you are unhealthy for sensitive groups farther north. But overall, it's getting better. We're going to top out in the upper 70s and lower 80s today. So I think, that's right back into where we're supposed to be for this time of year. So it sounds really nice. And I think you'll just get increasing sunshine for the afternoon. If anything, you might have a stray sprinkle early, but that's all. Tomorrow, morning clouds, afternoon sun, and right back into the low to mid 80s. And then we'll go for cooler weather this weekend. I have both days looking mostly cloudy. Not bad, just mostly cloudy. And I think maybe a few sprinkles. That's probably all, though. I don't think it's a washout, but if you're going to be, at higher elevation, you got a better chance to see a few showers because I think it'll mainly be into the mountains. So just a couple of showers possible and low to mid 70s. Next week, morning clouds, afternoon sun, back into the mid and upper 70s. So we are in pretty good shape weather-wise. And yeah, the air quality is getting better and I love it.
Upper 70s, that's typical for this time of year, right?
78, 79 is normal for this time of year. Yep, you'll definitely get normal today, and that's where I want it.
That's why I don't go on vacation in the summer.
That's right.
63 in Seattle right now.
It's 7:13. We check in with Sully for traffic on the threes.
And we'll get to our corn situation in a moment because it's not having as big of an impact on the freeway as other things are. We're going to start up in the north end where we are really struggling pulling away from Linwood on both 5 and 405. For 405, it's right there from Linwood all the way down through 522. For I-5, it's from, basically 145th all the way down across the Ship Canal Bridge. Again, this is for the loss of the express lanes for the continued work on the Revive I-5 work. And so we have about an hour drive now from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often and only when it really has to.
Hit the $15 mark already in the southbound 405 express toll lanes coming away from Linwood. Now to our corn situation. We continue to work with the closure of southbound I-5 off-ramp to basically the north end of JBLM. You can't get off at Thorn Lane or Berkeley. That off-ramp is closed for this semi that rolled with its load of corn. Fresh corn. They do have this Class C tow truck there, don't have the crane there, but this is going to be with us for most of the morning. So if you're coming down from, say, Tacoma, you're trying to get to Madigan, you're going to have to go down to the main gate and turn around and come back up, or just go through JBLM from the main gate. Seeing a little bit of a backup there, not terrible. Go over to Federal Way to Seattle, heading up into the city. We've got about a 50-minute trip now, 50 minutes as well, up the Valley Freeway, brake lights in Auburn, and at the north end part of that drive. And then you have a Renton to Bellevue drive of just under a half an hour. Lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton, the National Red Tag Sales event going on now through August 3rd. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
A race getting a lot of attention here in Seattle, where incumbent Jamie Peterson is facing sharp competition for Seattle's 43rd Legislative District.
Well, today we're joined by a candidate in the race. Last week we spoke with Hannah Sabio Howell, and today it's Heather Marie Wilson who joins us live in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming by.
Oh, not a problem.
Tell us about you.
About me, I am a senior scientist at a biotech startup. I'm actually just 2 blocks from here, so I love my job.
Why do you want to be the next state senator for the 43rd?
It's not that I want to. It's more that I need to protect jobs in our state, including my own, just because of some of the bills that were passed.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, so there's a couple. So obviously I'm not a millionaire, but the millionaire tax does affect it. It affects the people who invest in biotech companies, the angel investors. It also affects those of us that are taking risks. So like our company, we ran on hopes and dreams the first 2 years, and we all accrued stock in the company. So the moment that our company actually has a value, the 8 years I've worked for the company, you would get the stock when there's an initial public offering, and you would have to pay tax on that. So instead of having, say I make $1.5 million over the 8 years I've been working for the company, all of a sudden that $500,000 gets taxed, and that's $50,000 that I got to pay there, even if I wanted to just keep the stock in the company so we can keep growing. So that's one way.
So why should Jamie Peterson be fired?
So I don't think he understands business. And when you attack the people who create businesses and jobs, there's no incentive for them to come. There's a lot of hatred towards people who you don't see the behind the scenes of what these company owners do. So there's no hatred towards him. I've met him. He's a very nice person. I just don't agree with what he's doing, and I think part of it is because he doesn't have any investment in the field. So the thing is, it trickles down. So like in the 1970s, remember when Boeing laid off 60% of its workforce? My dad had a small boat building business, and when that happened, he had bought all the supplies for these boats. But all of a sudden, everyone didn't have the income for it, and he lost his business. And so for my family, he found a job, but we eventually moved to California in 1974. And so that meant I had a childhood where I didn't get to see my grandparents, my aunt, and all my cousins. And it took me to grad school to get back. And I love living here, but my job may move because we just can't survive in this kind of climate where there's a lot of hatred towards people who create jobs.
Heather, how are you qualified to take Jamie Peterson's job?
My background is in analytical research and data. So in my field, I have worked in different areas of research. So my PhD is in breast cancer. I did my first 2 postdocs in myelodysplastic syndrome. I did muscle regeneration, cardiac ischemia, reperfusion injury. Every time I've had a job, I've had to reinvent myself. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks for me to do all the background and hit the ground running. And I usually come in as a troubleshooter. So like protocols that aren't working, because sometimes you need an outside look who's not, kind of trapped by the accepted dogma in that field. And so I think having someone who's used to looking at data, analyzing data, and used to thinking 12 steps down the road rather than how can we make people happy. I'm not a politician. I just want our state to function for our kids, for everyone. So that's...
Yeah. I wonder, the 43rd is one of, if not the most progressive districts in Washington state. Are your politics in line with what the people of the 43rd are expecting from a leader?
Well, so that's what's kind of interesting. The loudest voices is what everyone thinks the district is, but I was born in this district. I went to school in this district. I've lived in this district for 30 years, and I know what they are. I understand. I understand why the young people are mad. I have an older daughter who went away to college, and she's not coming back because she can't afford this. But a lot of it is the state and city have just put so much regulation. And, you look at some of the stuff like when they got rid of the neighborhood council input into City Hall. That disenfranchised a lot of homeowners, including the Central District. You go to the Central District, a lot of those black homeowners were disenfranchised. And now I couldn't believe with the gentrification that occurred there.
What would you do differently to tackle drugs, crime, and homelessness?
So the housing crisis is an addiction crisis, and this has touched our family. My husband's brother passed away 3 months ago from a drug overdose.
Sorry for your loss.
When he was in the state, he was not from this state. The whole time he was in this state, he was homeless. He went away to other states where they had stricter laws, and he came back, and he died, and they had to identify him by his fingerprints. So that was... the thing is, so I've done I've gone to sites with We Heart Seattle, and it's a really good organization. And there are a couple people there I talked to who got off the streets. And I was like, how did you do it? Because for me as a pathologist, watching people die in slow motion, it's so painful. I walked past a dead body. When our lab used to be in Fremont, the building was broken into 6 times in 1 year. And I worked till 9, 10 o'clock at night some nights, so I didn't feel safe. And I asked them, I said, so how did you do it? And the one guy said, I got put in jail. I got cleaned up, and then my brain was clear enough that I was ready to get help. And some of these drugs like the fentanyl is crazy addictive. And for me, so I've had 2 brain surgeries. I was correcting the nurse within 24 hours after my second brain surgery she brought the wrong medication. And she didn't know how to find it. And I was like, give me my phone. 30 seconds, I said, it's got ingredients I'm allergic to. I couldn't make any decisions for myself because I had brain surgery, but I was correcting the nurse on my medications. Yet the people on the street, they're allowed to make decisions, and they're not in a state of mind to do that. And I feel like it's cruel. It's cruel to them. It's cruel to our kids who have to live like this around them. And that the whole drug market then leads to crime and all of that. So, yeah. And the education is kind of tied in with that. I feel like the college track, there should be other tracks for kids. We all have different gifts. And there's a lot of good professions that are like the trade school route. So I think that would also help with crime and stuff, because we'd have retention of kids, and then they would be productive citizens and, happy.
Yeah, Heather, I think our listeners might want to find out more about your positions, your candidacy. If they want to find out more, what do they need to do?
So there's a couple ways. I have a website. It's through goodparty.org for independents like me. So it's goodparty.org/Heather-Marie-Wilson. Sorry about my first name. It would be longer if I had my maiden name. So there's that. And then I'm on Instagram, and I've also filled out questionnaires for like iVoter Guide, and I've done some other interviews like with the Seattle Korean Association. So if you just search, even with the AI, I know everyone's talking about AI, you'll find me. Yeah, and it's always the keywords you use.
All right. Heather Marie-Wilson, candidate for Seattle's 43rd Legislative District. We appreciate you stopping by this morning. Every time you said stock, I thought of our corn mess on the freeway.
Thank you for your
time.
time.
Nice to meet you.
Heather Marie-Wilson. Okay, it's time to check in with Sully. He has traffic every 10 minutes for us.
And that's because we've officially changed our name to KIRO, not News and Talk. We're News Stock.
News Stock.
Stop. Again, our text line has gone from really clever to really bad dad jokes to basically being inside my brain, which again is bang, 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 bang. The exit to southbound I-5 from southbound I-5 to Thorn Lane, Berkeley closed. North end of JBLM because a corn truck, a driver fell asleep, rolled it. Driver's okay. Negligent too is what they charged him with, or they're cited him for. But you can't get into JBLM from the north end. You're going to have to turn around and go to the main gate. Not a big deal on the freeway itself. Rest of the map, about average for an early Thursday morning. Got an hour and 10-minute trip. Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, struggling out of Snohomish County. Renton to Bellevue's about a half an hour. Valley Freeway's up to 50 now, and we have about 50 as well from Federal Way to Seattle. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Afternoon, sun breaks, maybe even partly sunny, a high of 78. Right now in Seattle, it's 63.
What's on tap for the 7:35 commentary?
We're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, how it is something that addresses affordable housing. We'll talk about that at 7:35.
Also, special attention for our Mariners fan who was hit in the face by a home run ball. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has her story coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Word here for Closets by Design. If you're having one of those mornings where you're already behind, there's too much corn in the pantry, for example, you can't find what you need, your closet's a mess, well, there's something you should know. You're not doing anything wrong. Most homes just weren't set up to work the way we actually live. Closets by Design does so much more than just closets. It's a garage where you can finally park your car, a pantry where you can store your corn properly, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, entertainment centers, mudrooms. They do everything. All custom built in Kent, nothing off a shelf, nothing pre-made. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother with less clutter and frustration because everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call them 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating. Rev up for the biggest weekend of the summer. LeMay, America's Car Museum, presents Super Summer Weekend, and it's mostly free. Tons of events highlighted by this Friday night. Disney and Pixar's Cars Under the Stars drive-in movie. Then Saturday, Carson Coffee Show with Family Steam Day, featuring Super Highway 71's incredible custom-built car tracks, live demos, and hands-on fun for all ages. Don't miss it. One epic weekend. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
This summer, I'm driving my first hybrid, the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid, which I got at Carter Subaru. It's a beauty and has excellent safety features. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Outback for 0.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of filler who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Ugh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:31. Someone opened fire on a car full of women in North Seattle early this morning.
Seattle police say the 3 women were in a car on North 96th Street near Aurora. A dark sedan pulled up in front of them. A suspect got out, started shooting. One woman was hit multiple times. The other 2 were hurt by shattered glass. All are in stable condition. The Gun Violence Reduction Unit is investigating.
It was a painful night at T-Mobile Park for one Mariners fan who came within inches of catching a Julio Rodriguez home run.
Only to have the baseball hitter square in the face.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
Just imagine it's the bottom of the 8th. You're standing in the center field pen at T-Mobile Park watching the game, and all of a sudden...
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. This is going, and it is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Julio
Rodriguez with a home run shot right toward Nikki Jones, who locked in on that baseball.
I just see it coming to me, and I'm like, awesome. I can't believe I'm about to catch this ball. And, well, let's just say I dropped the ball and right into my face.
Yep, hit her right above the right eyebrow. If you're watching on our YouTube feed, we're going to get a photo of her eye up there. It's a kind of a shiner.
The security there called the medic, and, well, they took me to the hospital.
Yep, she went to the hospital. Apparently, the speed of the ball off of Julio's bat was around 107 miles per hour. But, it slows down between home plate and Nikki's eye, of course. Again, big shiner.
My eye's feeling okay. It's completely swollen and black. So I can't even open it.
Wow. So Nikki is from Marysville. She's been an M's fan for 31 years. She didn't get the ball that night. Another fan did. And that fan then reached out to her on Facebook after the game, said he felt bad and offered to split the ball 50-50. I have no idea how you split a ball 50-50. And this is what she told him.
Go ahead and just keep it. It's whatever. I'll probably catch another one in like the next 10, 20 years that I've been going to games.
Well, instead, check this out. The Mariners gave her a baseball when she was on the stretcher. Then, during yesterday's day game, she went back to the ballpark. Julio sent her a ball through the bullpen. And again, on YouTube, if you're watching, you can see he wrote, "I'm sorry, get well soon," on that ball. And then Andres Munoz, one of her favorite players, found out what happened as well. And he reached out to her on Instagram and asked how she was doing. There's the message right there on YouTube. And then Julio also reached out to her on Instagram.
He just apologized, and I just responded back. I'm like, there's no need to apologize. Like, you hit a home run. Like, there's nothing to apologize for. It's not like you did it on purpose, obviously. So that was pretty cool.
No broken bones, no concussion, but a really great sense of humor and a great story to tell the grandkids someday.
Honestly, yeah, it's actually going to be a cool story to tell people. I got hit by a ball at a baseball game, and I got a black eye from it. So,
not bad. What a trooper! She's a real trooper.
Yeah, glad she didn't have anything broken.
Yeah,
I mean, whew.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
Story to tell. Luke Ducey, thank you. It's time to check traffic. Here is Chris Sullivan.
And I'll get to our corn cob in a minute. We've got the biggest issues now are just the normal stuff on our freeways. Coming down from the north end, we're struggling. Hour and 20-minute drives now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour of that away from Linwood. If you drive this every day, you know what you're getting into. No surprises. It's just the Revive I-5 stuff. Looking at northbound I-5 from Federal Way to Seattle, a little over 50 minutes. Heaviest there right at the beginnings to north end of Boeing Field, all the way past the West Seattle Bridge. Rented to Bellevue, over a half an hour now. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, up over 50. Heaviest spot there again today is at the north end part of that drive, not in Auburn. Most of Pierce County is quiet. And now to the corn issue. For those of you heading southbound on I-5, trying to get off at Madigan or the north end of JBLM, you cannot. The exit to Thorn Lane, Berkeley, is closed for a semi-truck that flipped and spilled its load of corn. Everybody southbound needs to go to the main gate to get to JBLM or to go and turn around. This report brought to you by Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA, serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years. Hundreds of five-star reviews, 1-800-DUI-OA.
Our forecast, there is a slight chance of seeing some showers this morning. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds, much cooler. We hit 95 yesterday in Seattle. Today, we're looking for a high of 79. Tomorrow, Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and 84. So far, it looks like mid-70s for the weekend and possibility of some showers on both days. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 63.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
Time for the 735 commentary. You don't see much bipartisan work in Congress anymore. So when the Senate votes 85-5 and the House votes 358-32 on the same bill, something real is going on. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act became law earlier this month. Most of its 56 provisions are small pilot programs, loan tweaks, grants. But tucked inside is a provision that could matter a lot around here. Before I get to the policy, some background, and I say this fully aware of the stigma and the class perceptions that come with it, and you may want to check yourself for thinking it. After my parents split, both of them lived in manufactured homes at different points over the years. My dad spent about 15 years in a double wide. My mom lived in one in Everett for a while after she retired. When my wife and I first got married, we rented a trailer on some property in Federal Way for about a year. When my grandparents hit retirement, they found they couldn't keep up with the cost of owning a traditional home in Seattle. They moved to the Halcyon Mobile Home Park in North Seattle, one of the last trailer parks in the city, one of the last truly affordable places to live here. I've eaten dinner in these homes. I've slept in them. I've paid rent on one. They kept the people I love housed when nothing else would have. Now, here's what Congress just fixed. Under every manufactured home built in America since the 1970s, there's a steel chassis welded on at the factory required by federal law. It gets the house to your lot exactly once, then it sits there forever, rusting under your living room like a trailer hitch nobody's allowed to cut off. The new law scraps that rule. Researchers estimate dropping the chassis could cut the price of a manufactured home by as much as 9%, several $1,000s off the only home a lot of Americans can afford. But the bigger change is what these homes can become without a chassis. 2 stories, real foundations, roof lines and porches and floor plans that look like every other house on the block. Factory-built homes already come in at roughly half the cost per square foot of a site-built home. You take away the steel frame, you build the house on a real foundation, and a manufactured home is just a house that showed up on a truck, like a refrigerator did. Now, skeptics have real points. Factory-built homes have a rough history with resale value. The financing often costs more than a conventional mortgage, and around here, the house was never the most expensive part. No factory in the world can ship you cheaper land. Fair, all of it. But Congress just found a 50-year-old rule that was quietly adding thousands of dollars to the cheapest homes in America, and both parties voted to get rid of it. Now it's up to the cities and the counties. For 50 years, the law treated these homes like vehicles, so plenty of towns zoned them like vehicles, parked them at the edge of the map, kept them out of single-family neighborhoods. That federal excuse just got repealed. If they are serious about affordable housing, and every one of them says they are, update the zoning. Let these homes into the neighborhoods. If a manufactured home can sit on a foundation and look like the house next door, there's no planning reason to keep it out. And if they don't, if the zoning stays the same after the federal barrier is gone, then the barrier was never really about the chassis. It was about who lives in those homes. And that's a conversation about class that a lot of city councils would rather not have out loud. A manufactured home kept 3 generations of my family housed at times in the Seattle area. If this law means the next family that needs one pays less for and feels less like they have to explain it, that's a win. Nobody's building a manufactured home in Medina, but a young couple in Marysville, a retired teacher in Enumclaw, a family in your neighborhood that's been renting for a decade because every house on the market, its price starts with a 7. Well, Congress just made it cheaper. Now the cities decide whether to make it welcome. And that's a 7:35 commentary. For Thursday, July 23rd, 2026, you can text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. You can join the chat, YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio, and leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the drives coming away from Linwood, really starting to stack in now. We'll break it down next.
Remember when you didn't have to think about energy? You just had it? Well, now it's the midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what on earth happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing is wrong with you. Your hormones just stopped holding up their end of the deal. At Juvicor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who has heard your story before because she hears it every single day. Dr. Lucy Hostetter is a board-certified physician. You're going to love her. She has spent 7 years doing one thing exceptionally well. That is helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life, and the follow-up is real because feeling better should not be a one-appointment promise. Now they have 2 convenient locations, Tacoma and Bellevue. They expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is now closer than ever. Don't Google your symptoms at 2 in the morning. Start a conversation with someone who has real answers. JuvicorHealth.com, that's Juve, corehealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9. Plus, receive 2 times O-Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
7:43 now. We check traffic on the 3s. I'm all ears, Sully.
I know you are, and I'll get to that pun in a minute. Looking at the drive on southbound I-5 and 405 first, because this is our biggest impact. Hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. For Linwood, down 405 through Bothell, it's bumper to bumper. And for 5-5, it's from about 175th on down all the way past 520. So a really tough day for Revive I-5, one of our heaviest, about average for the last 3 days, but not a great day. Looking at the Valley Freeway, still very slow from before 180th, maybe 212th and Kent all the way up, but not as bad in Auburn. So kind of a mixed bag, still over 50 minutes to run the Valley. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle has brake lights right around 320th up through 272nd, and then at the North End Drive, so we're kind of zeroing in a little closer on an hour to make that drive to go from Federal Way into Seattle. Now to that corny situation we've been dealing with on southbound I-5. Just taking a look at the pictures, they've got a lot more heavy machinery and equipment down there to get this semi that flipped over on the off-ramp from southbound I-5 to JBLM there at the north end. So the off-ramp to Thorn Lane and Berkeley remains closed. It spilled a load of corn. They've got a crane there. They've got front loaders. They've got a big tow truck. They're trying to get this thing open. But for people heading south out of Tacoma trying to get to, say, JBLM, Madigan Hospital, you're going to have to go down to the main gate. Good news is there isn't a lot of volume in and around that corridor this morning. So all in all, this is about as good as it could be, considering one of our main off-ramps to JBLM is closed at the moment. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Another texter says, I'd say you're trying to cobble together too many bad puns.
Come on. I know.
Get it?
I know. They're just keep them coming.
No.
Yes, we love them. All right. We might see some light showers in spots this morning. Otherwise, just much cooler today. 79 the high instead of yesterday's 95. Mix of clouds and sun for the bulk of the day. For tomorrow, look for clouds early on, sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 84. For the weekend, there's a slight chance of showers both days, but otherwise, same thing. Mix of clouds and sun and highs in the mid-70s. 63 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, it's the Cold Case Project with James Lynch about a killing in the South Sound that has remained unsolved for 3 decades. That's ahead on Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. This is Sully. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, a full service history. It's all right there at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Buckys.com today and drive with confidence.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth, with the Robert Cray Band. August 6th, the Tulalip Amphitheater. Get tickets on sale now at Tulalip and Quilcena One Club Desks or Ticketmaster.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Time for the Cold Case Project. This morning, a murder of a Renton mother and her young daughter happened more than 3 decades ago and remains unsolved with no suspects or motive. KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch is looking for answers this week.
Good morning, everyone. This week's Cold Case Project involves the death of a mother and her young daughter in their Renton home in 1995. Of this crime, a Renton Police Sergeant Russell Radke said to Washington's Most Wanted, "There's a certain amount of evil in this world, but many of those things happen to people who kind of live lives that sort of put them more in those circumstances. But when it appears that evil just comes out of the shadows, that's disturbing for all of us." Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound Executive Director Jim Fuda joins us now. And Jim, why don't you give us some background on this case?
Yeah, well, what we know is it was very odd to begin with. The mother and the daughter were killed late afternoon of November the 3rd and were found in their apartment on the next day by a family friend. The woman was a student, very active in her church, and a mother. That was her life, according to her friends. And the minister for your church says the same thing, that there was no other reason for somebody to harm her. We have to look at some of the things around the evidence here. There were not much to be found. They were bludgeoned to death, both of them, while the mother was trying to protect the daughter. Like I say, we're on a first floor apartment. It's November, so the weather's nothing warm. Why would this slider door be open? This was a modest apartment, a ground floor. And from what I understand, the walls were fairly thin, that somebody in that apartment building should have heard something.
I think Sergeant Radke made a really good point that she appears to have been someone who didn't live a lifestyle that would put her in jeopardy of something like this happening to her. That she seemed like just a straight up community-minded mom. We don't see this very often.
Absolutely. And we go to the fact that even one of her friends said no debt, no drugs, and no ex-lovers to worry about that would have been a problem at all. And anybody that was close to her was pretty much in California and were cleared.
So what are the potential theories behind this case, Jim?
That it was a random act of violence.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. That's what they're looking at. That's why we're looking for the public's help. Refresh some memories. Granted, this is going on 31 years, but somebody must know something, even if they think that it might not be worth reporting. Report it anyway and bring it to Crime Stoppers, even if you want to stay anonymous. We'll get it to the detectives in Renton.
Yeah, that's what Crime Stoppers is all about. So hopefully, considering it was an apartment complex, somebody had to hear something. Even if it was that long ago, memories like that don't go away very easily.
Exactly. Imagine the people that or the woman that found her, the trauma that she's still going through today, and you have to think that maybe even someone didn't hear something at the scene, but maybe the suspect said something to somebody, or she might have suspicions of somebody at that particular era. And turn it in. Let's get a name.
All righty, Jim. We sure do appreciate your participation in this project. If you have any information on this crime, if there are any memories that you think might be important, or if you're not even sure if it's important, call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS. And as Jim said, you can remain anonymous. Thank you again, Jim. We'll toss it now back to the studio.
7:52 now. Thanks for being here with us on Seattle's Morning News. And something we're finding out this morning, Kevin Calabro is a free agent.
It's official. The longtime NBA broadcaster and former voice of the Supersonics confirmed to the Times yesterday he will not be back with the Portland Trail Blazers. Calabro says Portland's offer was, in his words, subprime. He told The Athletic it was an easy decision, quoting, "not worth my time." Calabro spent a decade calling Blazers games after 2 decades as the voice of the Sonics. The 68-year-old Seattle native says he still wants to be in broadcasting.
If there was only an opening around here that I'm, maybe a couple of years from now.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be super cool. All right. 7:53 now. We check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And Calabro with the super duper dad joke. That was awesome because the terrible owner of the Blazers is financial investor and real estate guy. Yeah. So it was subprime. Yeah, well done. Yeah, that organization that I grew up in that town, and I love that place, is just dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's what happens after
terrible.
Paul Allen's estate sold it.
Yeah,
here's another dad joke. Corn Labro, huh?
Whoa!
Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Yeah, nothing but corn jokes for those of you trying to get to JBLM. This has been our bigger story of the day. The fortunate news is it's not really impacting the commute a lot unless you're trying to get to JBLM from southbound I-5, because the exit to Thorn Lane, Berkeley, is closed. We had a semi carrying a bunch of corn. It flipped. Driver's okay. Driver, though, cited for negligent driving. He fell asleep. But we're trying to clean that thing up. So everybody southbound's trying to get down to the main gate to turn around or to access the base just in general. Fortunately, there isn't a lot of volume in Pierce County today. Overall, that drive anywhere in Pierce County is in pretty good shape. Federal Way to Seattle's just under an hour, with the heaviest spot there at the north end part of that drive. Valley Freeway close to 55 minutes, maybe an hour. Just kind of annoyingly under the speed limit getting into and through Auburn, and then really kind of clamping down as you get up towards 180th. And then Renton to Bellevue's a shade under 40 minutes, but not bad. Lake bridges are fine. Coming down from the north end, boy, it's another tough one. 3 straight days of dealing with the heavy drive on Revive I-5 impacts. Over an hour and 20 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. An hour of that alone just away from Linwood. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get real pricing quotes in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
A mix of clouds and sun, much cooler for today. We might see a shower in the morning hours. 79 the high today. 63 right now.
Coming up, he'll have more of the day's top headlines. In Manda, you have an interview?
8:15, the grapes that make Echoland's award-winning wine have a surprisingly super origin story. Brian Rudine of Echoland's Winery and Mark Sagali of Frenchman Hills Vineyard join us.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. more free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
I'm spending my summer in a new Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru, and yes, I am officially spoiled. It is so comfortable, and as my first hybrid, the timing couldn't be better with high gas prices. And for a limited time, you can also get a 2026 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/26.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen said they've attacked 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, that leaving open the possibility of a new front in the Iran war. ABC's Martha Raddatz has more from Amman, Jordan, as the military conducted its 12th straight night of strikes against Iran.
Video posted online is said to be at a border crossing between Iran and Iraq, showing people screaming and running away on the Iraqi side. The U.S. has not acknowledged this specific strike. The Iranians say 2 people were killed. Human rights activists in Iran say there's been nearly 3,700 casualties since February.
A federal judge will today sentence Vance Bolter, who shot and killed Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband last year. Child car seat maker Evenflow is recalling almost 60,000 child seats as a defect can cause the headrest to shift unexpectedly and increases the risk of an injury. This is ABC News. When it comes to the outbreak of cyclosporiasis, much of the blame has been placed on lettuce used at Taco Bell restaurants. Well, now, as ABC's Jim Ryan reports, the franchise is trying to make lemonade out of lemons.
If you're Taco Bell, you turn cyclosporiasis into a promotional opportunity. The fast food chain has dropped the price of its enchilada and its nacho fries from $4.29 and $2.89 respectively to $1 apiece today only and when purchased through the Taco Bell app. The company hasn't said whether the promotion is a direct result of the outbreak, but neither nacho fries nor the enchilada contains lettuce, which has been linked to thousands of cases of cyclosporiasis in 41 states. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Google on the hook for $1 billion after the EU fined it that much for breaking antitrust laws on its Google Play Store and its search engine. Today, the Hollywood Walk of Fame class of 2027 will be announced. It'll happen this afternoon as a new group of 32 performers are unveiled. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 8:02, here's what's happening.
3 women are recovering after a shooting in North Seattle early this morning. Luke Ducey will have details.
7 dogs, including 4 puppies, were pulled from a sweltering van in Pierce County Tuesday. No owner has come forward.
It is a corny morning commute for drivers headed to Joint Base Lewis McChord. A semi crashed into a ditch on the southbound I-5 exit to Thorn Lane, spilling corn all across the roadway. Here's Trooper Cameron Watts.
The driver did admit that he fell asleep at the wheel, and that's why he ultimately lost control of the semi-truck.
And the puns have been rolling all morning.
They have indeed. Sully has traffic for us on the Cobb. I'm just trying to come up with, they can't all be home runs, people.
No, they can't. And if they are, they hit you in the face. Oh, we'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. Looking at, I want to thank Tim Hunter. This one, I didn't even think about it. I mean, it's just the easiest one so far, because if you're trying to go southbound I-5 to get to JBLM, you can't, because the exit to Thorn Lane or Berkeley is closed because of this spilled truck carrying corn. Well, what kind of people go to the Army base?
Military.
Perhaps colonels. That would just went right over me the whole time. Of all the colonel jokes we were making, that is really good. A little on the nose there. But anyway, that's the issue. The driver, as you mentioned, was cited. He fell asleep, no injuries. And so you just have to go down to the main gate, turn around or main gate, get in there, and then work your way if you're trying to get to the north end part of that base. Try to get to the Air Force side or to the Madigan Hospital. The good news is lighter volumes in Pierce, so it's not causing a huge deal. They're really working to get that thing open. A lot of machinery there. Looking at the drive out of the north end, hour and 25 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, kind of a typical day for you guys. Looking at northbound I-5, not as bad up past the Kent Des Moines Road as it could be, but heavy at the north end. You get about an hour drive Federal Way to Seattle. Do have a new crash to tell you about, northbound I-5, northbound 167, right at 180th there, past the Valley Med Center. Not sure which lane, but we're backing up quickly. We've got about a 50-minute trip, Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. Lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, get fresh video content daily.
8:04 on the Thursday, July 23rd, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
3 women are recovering after a targeted overnight shooting in North Seattle that left one of them with multiple gunshot wounds.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey joins us live with the latest.
Seattle police rushed to the scene there after getting reports of multiple gunshots in the 1100 block of North 96th Street just after midnight. If you're watching on our YouTube feed, it's right here where you see that red circle, just 2 blocks west of Licton Springs Park. I also have a kind of a street view of what that area kind of looks like generally. This is not the crime scene or anything, so if you recognize shops there, that's where it happened. Police, when they got there, they say they found an abandoned silver Ford peppered with bullet holes. A short time later, investigators learned 3 women had gone to UW Medical Center. Police say 1 woman was shot several times and was later transferred to Harborview. The other 2 women suffered injuries from shattered glass. All 3 are expected to survive. Detectives believe the women were sitting inside that Ford when a dark-colored sedan pulled in front of them. Investigators say a suspect got out, opened fire on the vehicle, then climbed back into that sedan and fled south on Aurora Avenue. No arrests so far. Now get this, though. It happened just hours after City Council member Deborah Juarez, this is her district, appeared on the city's Seattle channel talking about hiring a full-time prosecutor to look into the issues along Aurora.
To be cross-deputized to look at misdemeanors and felonies and sex trafficking.
She also said she's introducing a new city ordinance to close more side streets to neighborhoods there after residents built their own barriers, you'll remember, to stop gun violence, to stop pimps and johns and prostitutes and all of that from coming onto their streets in their neighborhoods.
My goal before I leave is to make sure that some of those remain permanent and give Chief Barnes the authority when they believe and deem that there is criminal activity, that the chief of police on that word can go to SDOT and say, I believe these streets are unsafe, and for these reasons I would like them closed for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, I don't know.
Meanwhile, the violence continues, obviously. Police say that truck was hit by 22 bullets.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's now 8:06.
Newly released surveillance video shows the moment a passenger is shot on a King County Metro bus July 5th.
King County prosecutors say 36-year-old Rashad Mackey argued with riders over a missing cell phone and threatened to, quote, smoke everyone on board, then got off the bus and fired back inside, hitting a man in the chest as the bus pulled away. Casey McNerney is with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
It could be a third strike offense if convicted as charged under the state's persistent offender law.
You can watch the video at mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
New details have been released in the investigation of a deputy-involved shooting in SeaTac. The Valley Independent Investigative Team says the King County Medical Examiner identified the man who died as 33-year-old Frank Ho. The medical examiner ruled the manner of death a suicide. Investigators are still reviewing evidence to determine what happened surrounding Sunday's incident.
The State Patrol is investigating a road rage shooting on Highway 2 in Everett. Two vehicles were getting onto the highway last night when some kind of altercation broke out. The eastbound lanes between I-5 and Homeacres Road were shut down for hours. They reopened before 11 last night.
A 21-year-old Kent man has pleaded guilty to conspiring to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Last fall, then acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, announced his arrest.
Saeed Ali Mareh of Kent, Washington, along with other co-conspirators, used encrypted messaging applications to plan travel to Turkey and then to Syria to join ISIS as fighters.
According to the feds, they were plotting to attack LGBTQ plus bars in Detroit on Halloween. He faces up to 20 years in federal prison, will be sentenced in October.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Nick, you're going to say corn to run, aren't you?
It was corn to run, you know. We knew it was going to happen today.
I saw that coming a mile away, my friend.
Why did the corn stalk get promoted?
Why is that, Manda?
It was outstanding in its field.
Oh, man.
Oh, Steph is on fire today.
Thanks, Steph.
Adam, Larry, Lomax. I mean, everybody. Tim. I mean, just keep them coming. The jokes are. They're awesome today.
Yeah, and we can laugh. I mean, this driver allegedly is a knucklehead and fell asleep driving.
Yeah.
That could have killed somebody. Fortunately, it didn't.
And considering the damage to the show, you can see the pictures at mynorthwest.com or up on our X feeds. Yeah, I mean, it's really lucky this driver wasn't seriously hurt, considering how much damage there was to the cab and everything. So we make fun now.
Did you see the one from Lomax?
Oh, no. Which one?
I can't read it. Can't say it on the radio.
Yeah, I told him to say it 5 times fast. He's not on the radio. You can't.
Oh, no. No.
Okay.
We're going to move on, Manda.
Yes, we are.
I'm normally the one. You're normally the one doing this.
This is fun. Anytime you can grab onto something lighthearted.
Okay. Well, that is Sully right over there. Nick Krasia is picking the music. Producer David Burbank is in the studio. And we have Katrina Gishard at the news desk following the big stories for us today.
Speaking of fun things, coming up this hour at 8:15, you know Super Mario, the video game character. But did you know the real Mario, the guy who inspired the name, planted a vineyard in eastern Washington? The story of Mario Segali, a Tukwila warehouse, Nintendo, and a world-class Riesling.
Okay, and G. Scott will stop by. The voice of men's basketball in Seattle is back on the market. Kevin Calabro has parted ways with the Trailblazers. Could he return to Seattle with the Sonics in coming years? And also, I've been reading G's social media. He has another theory about what's going on with Portland.
Really?
We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, it's 8:10. Several wildfires still burning across eastern and northern Washington. The biggest is the Kaiser Canyon fire on the Colville Reservation. More than 79,000 acres and only 3% contained. The Colville tribe did downgrade some evacuation orders yesterday, but the fire has come close to homes in Nespelem.
Washington State spent a record $614 million on lawsuits and legal costs of the last fiscal year. The Seattle Times reports the state paid more than $537 million just to settle claims, up from about $500 million the year before. On top of that, legal defense costs hit $76 million. That includes nearly $44 million to pay outside law firms to help handle the caseload. Most of the money tied to lawsuits over alleged abuse and neglect in the state's foster care system. And because Washington is self-insured, every dollar going to settlements is a dollar not going to schools, health care, or child welfare.
7 dogs are safe after deputies rescued them from a hot van in Pierce County. The sheriff's office says the dogs, including 4 puppies, were left inside a van parked in direct sunlight Tuesday as temperatures soared to 97 degrees. Several Good Samaritans had already managed to remove 6 of the dogs from the vehicle.
Potatoes! Look at the potatoes! Oh my gosh.
Animal Control removed the last dog from the van. All 7 dogs were taken to the Humane Society. Authorities remind pet owners never to leave animals in parked vehicles in the hot weather.
The search continues for Brita, a 350-pound pig missing from her home on Vashon Island. Owner Julia Carson tells the Jake and Spike show on KIRO News Radio whoever took Brita most likely knew her.
It was either somebody who knew her well enough to be like, come on, Brita, come on, I have treats for you. Or it was a crew of a bunch of big dudes.
Carlson says there have been several unconfirmed sightings of Brita. King County Sheriff's Office says the investigation involves an ongoing dispute between Carlson and a neighbor.
It's 8:12. That's time for a check on the weather. Now we bring in KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Count on some increasing sunshine. This morning we have a lot of clouds, yes, maybe a passing shower or two, and way better air quality. That's all getting better across the board, and so we'll see a little upper level haze, and that's it. Besides that, we're just going to see increasing sunshine, and I think temperatures, it'll be much cooler in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Tomorrow, low to mid 80s with morning clouds, afternoon sun. Also, if anything, a little elevated haze early, but then it gets out of here. And then into the weekend, mostly cloudy. Both days could see a stray shower or two in the low to mid 70s. It's not a washout, but some sprinkles in the mix. And then next week, morning clouds, afternoon sun in the upper 70s. We're back to seasonal summer levels. No more mid 90s for at least the next week.
Thank you. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies at 65.
Had a couple of listeners just say it's a maze of delays this morning on the roads. Sully, we have the corn truck incident, but we also have traffic around the sound as well. Kind of a mess this morning.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to Colonel Corn in a minute because we've got some other issues. I want to thank my drivers. Let me know we do have a pretty significant crash on northbound 167 right at 180th there, right in Renton, the exit you would use to the Valley Med Center. We have the express toll lane and the left general purpose lane blocked. So 2 out of 3 lanes are blocked, and we're backed up out of Kent pretty significantly. The good news is that most of the traffic has gone through, so Puyallup up to that scene really isn't too bad. So our travel time total has stayed about 50 minutes. But again, 2 out of 3 lanes are blocked right there. Then you get up to 405 and you have the normal stuff through the S-curves up through Bellevue, about 35 minutes for you. Federal Way to Seattle, under an hour, so not too bad. Coming down from the north end, though, different story. We've got the usual stuff, and we're looking at an hour away from Linwood and an hour and 20 to an hour and 25 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. 99 southbound backed up from the zoo all the way down into South Lake Union. Now to our corn issue. We continue to not have access to the north end of JBLM from southbound I-5. This corn truck that flipped, it has blocked the ramp to Thorn Lane or to Berkeley. That's a dual ramp there. So if you're going southbound on I-5, you have to go down to the main gate to get into JBLM, or you can turn around there and come and get at it the Madigan side from the northbound I-5. Fortunately, not a big issue around it, but there's a ton of work going on as they try to remove that the truck and get rid of all the corn that's spilled. This report brought to you by LeMay, America's Car Museum. Super Summer Weekend is here at LeMay, America's Car Museum, and it's mostly free. Saturday, Cars and Coffee Show, americascarmuseum.org.
Seattle's morning news, always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Of all the white wines in Washington state, only one earned a top score from the Decanter World Wine Awards, considered the Oscars of wine. And the grapes that made it? They were planted by Super Mario's namesake in Grant County. Yes, of Nintendo fame. What? Well, Mark Segali runs the 4th-generation family business, Frenchman Hills Vineyard in Grant County. The winemaker is Brian Rudine. Both are here with me in the studio this morning. So a mutual friend, Casey McNerthney, tipped me off to this, and for some reason, I didn't know this story before. So, Mark, how did you become the son of Mario?
Well, my dad had built warehouses in Tukwila, and it was 1981. Nintendo was looking for space to start to assemble their games, and they'd come to the States. And so there was a great story of a long negotiation for this warehouse space in our conference room through a negotiator, through a translator. And deal was made for the warehouse space. And right after, a typical Italian, we say we have to go break bread after a deal is made.
Right.
And went to a local restaurant. And Mr. Arakawa had been in the room for several days negotiating the lease, all through a translator. And, well, he spoke perfectly good English in the restaurant after. So it was a start of a great relationship.
Just kind of a chance encounter, right?
It was very much so. It was very much so.
How would you characterize your dad? I mean, he's no longer with us, but was he Super Mario?
He was Super Mario, but never knew. He did not really appreciate the whole Nintendo thing.
Oh, really?
He did not. No, he didn't. He was his own guy. He was an entrepreneur, businessman, just hardworking. But he never really understood it, how big it was.
Wasn't there a family connection to Luigi as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what's that?
And so my grandma and grandpa, Rena and Louie, well, they lived right next to the warehouse the Nintendo was in.
Yeah.
And they'd see my grandpa walking around and whatever. And Luigi was named after my grandpa Louie as well.
And was he similar to the character, your grandpa?
Actually, it's kind of funny because Luigi, grandpa, he looked a little more like Super Mario.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, a little more Italian, short little barrel guy.
What a fun family story you have.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Thanks for being here to share it with us today.
Well, you're the first.
What do you mean?
We have never shared this publicly.
Really?
It's well known, but the family's never ever talked about it.
Did you hear that? We got a scoop. Very cool. So how on earth do we jump from you're the son of Mario to wine? Brian?
Come on, Brian.
Well, so I met Mark back in 2010, and I had just taken my first winemaking job for a place called Cataretta, based out of Walla Walla. And I was looking around for Sauvignon Blanc grapes, and I worked with a vineyard that was about 30 miles south as the crow flies. Really cool spot, high elevation, south facing, had all the classic things you want to grow great grapes, but we couldn't get enough Sauv Blanc from that site. And so how I found Mark was I got on Google Earth. It's just, it's like the satellite image platform for browsing. And I was just flying around on Google Earth looking for any vineyard that I could find that was within a 30-mile radius, because I thought that spot was the magic spot. And I spotted Frenchman Hills from the air, and I looked it up on the Grant County Tax Assessor's Office, found Mark's number, called him up, and I was like, do you guys have any Sauvignon Blanc grapes?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, actually we do. So I drove out there. It's about 2 hours from Walla Walla. As I started driving out there, I didn't fully appreciate how magnificent of a landform the part of the Royal Slope where the Segalis had planted this vineyard. And in wine, everything comes down to the vineyard source that it comes from. That's what's driving quality. And if you look at what some of the great vineyards of the world have in common, usually it's elevation, some aspect towards the sun, usually south or southeast, sometimes southwest. And you're looking for kind of a high site. It really helps with wine quality for a lot of reasons. And so I drove up there and I was like, my God, this place is crazy. And by the way, this is in the middle of nowhere. Your nearest big town is Moses Lake. Othello, Washington is kind of close by, but you drive through hundreds of miles of farm country before you get to something like this. And I got up there, met Mark and the team, and looked at the grapes, and we contracted them right away. And then 2010 turned out to be one of the most difficult vintages in Washington State in the last 30 years. Yeah, it was a
just
cold
weather, or
cold, wet year. And grapes really hate being rained on in the fall, right before you pick them. And especially with something like Sauvignon Blanc, it's really thin-skinned. So if you get rain or even wind, it kind of blows the clusters around on the vine, and they bang up against the wire and the rest of the canopy, and they start to mold. Well, we saw Sauvignon Blanc grapes molding all over the state. And I kept driving up to Frenchman Hills to see if they were ready to pick yet. And because it was so cold, it was developing slowly. But the crop remained in perfect condition despite everything else falling apart.
Wow.
And so there was an epiphany moment where I was like, my God, there's something special about this site. And not just the location. You have to consider it takes human hands to grow these grapes, and it takes a lot of hands. So you imagine the amount of meticulous work, removing leaves, getting the water just perfect, shaping the canopy. It's almost like a very high tier gardening, right? But everything came together perfect, and that saved our vintage for that wine. And it was almost a chance encounter just from zooming around on Google Earth to then
I can't believe that.
Connecting to real people.
Yeah.
And it was only a couple years later that I got the story from Mark with the Mario connection, which was always funny. So I'd be showing the wine to people. And I'm like, by the way, like, Super Mario grew these grapes, and and of course, you get a puzzled look. But
I had one of those when Casey told me. I was like, what?
And now that was 16 years ago. I've been working with the vineyard almost ever since. And our winery in Walla Walla, Echolands, was looking for some world-class Riesling grapes. And I knew that Mark and his team had them up there. And I thought, geez, this is probably the spot for it.
What does it mean to both of you to have won the Decanter World Wine Award? Was that accurate to say it's like the Oscars of winemaking?
You're the winemaker. You're the guy that...
You have the grapes. So it's a team, right?
It's funny because in the business, there's always sometimes some yin and yang between growers and winemakers. And so a lot of times we'll say, hey, we gave you great fruit, great grapes. Now, do good with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out, but this guy's a rock star.
Apparently it does with Brian.
It does with him. It does with him. So we're super thrilled, absolutely thrilled. Because it's an opportunity for us to really show the world, what Frenchman Hills can do.
Congratulations to both of you on your success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mark Segali, Brian Rudine, thank you. Take care. And I might have to open that sometime.
So you should.
Take care. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll have that interview up on mynorthwest.com as well. Mario was in the building.
Yeah.
All right. It's 8:23. We need to check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we've got some positive news to report. The crash that we had right near 180th on northbound 167 has now moved entirely off to the right shoulder. That's positive because it had been blocking 2 out of the 3 lanes, the express toll lane and the left general purpose lane. So that's positive. We still have a pretty sizable backup that you hit really hard right at 212th and Kent. So we're still up at about 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. But that's really the only braking on the Valley Freeway, so that's positive. Then you have about a 40-minute trip from Renton to Bellevue. No surprises for you guys. Nice long gap after 44th until you get up to about I-90. Federal Way to Seattle still kind of moving along at about an hour. The heaviest spot there, certainly from the beginnings of Boeing Field, over 35 minutes from South Center into downtown. West Seattle Bridge is heavy in the eastbound direction, but nothing like we saw yesterday. Coming down from the north end, hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, as we have a really tough drive coming out of Snohomish County. And they continue to work to try to get the ramp to Thorn Lane and Berkeley open off of southbound I-5 down at the north end of JBLM. They still have the semi on its side. They're trying to pick up the corn. They're trying to get the cab done. But it's going to be about a couple more hours before they reopen that. The good news is not a lot of volume around it, so we kind of dodged some corn in and around that area today because it could have been a lot worse. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're headed for a high of 79 today, much cooler than yesterday. Tomorrow, 84. Right now in Seattle, it's 64.
And it's 8:25. Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with corn. We're going to take a look at the changes they're making at the north end of the Hood Canal Bridge and things that are going to go different starting Monday.
Also, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with the story of a Mariners fan who was hit by a home run ball and now getting some special attention. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Now, a word for Closets by Design. If you've had one of those mornings where you're already behind, you can't find what you need. Closet, it is a mess. Your pantry is overflowing. Your garage, it's basically unusable. Well, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just most homes aren't designed to work the way we actually live. That's where Closets by Design comes in. See, they don't do just closets. They do garages, pantries. We had them do in our home a home office and a wall bed, consolidated. The spare bedroom is just so much more efficient. It's all custom built in Kent. It's designed for your home. Nothing is off a shelf from Closets by Design. Nothing pre-made. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother with less clutter and frustration because everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. So go to closetsbydesign.com or call them 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
Me personally, Ursula, shorts in the workplace should not happen. There's no way.
It's a bridge too far for you.
Put some pants on.
What if everyone in the office building is wearing shorts or very casual attire? If you're like so buttoned up and everyone else is casual, including the boss, I think you might be taking it too far.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:31. Amazon is cutting jobs in its artificial general intelligence division.
CNBC reports the layoffs affect an undisclosed number of employees working on Nova AI models and includes teams focused on silicon and quantum computing. Amazon says the cuts are part of a broader effort to focus on projects that will have the biggest impact for customers. The move follows broader company-wide job cuts announced earlier in the year.
It was a painful night at T-Mobile Park for one Mariners fan who came within inches of catching a Julio Rodriguez home run.
Only to have that baseball hitter flat in the face. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
All right, just imagine it. It's the bottom of the eighth. You're standing in the center field pen at T-Mobile Park watching the game, and all of a sudden...
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. This is going, and it is gone. Goodbye, baseball.
Awesome home run. Julio Rodriguez with the shot right toward Nicky Jones, who locked in on that ball.
I just see it coming to me, and I'm like, awesome. I can't believe I'm about to catch this ball. And, well, let's just say I dropped the ball and right into my face.
Yeah, right through her hands, right above her left eyebrow. If you're watching on our YouTube feed, we got a photo of her eye. She has got a lump and a shiner.
Wow.
Look at that thing.
My eye's feeling okay. It's completely swollen and black. So I can't even open it.
Yeah, Nikki's from Marysville. She's a longtime M's fan, 31 years. She didn't get the ball. Another fan did. And that fan then reached out to her on Facebook after the game, said he felt bad and offered to split the ball 50-50 with her. And this is what she told him.
Go ahead and just keep it. It's whatever. I'll probably catch another one in like the next 10, 20 years that I've been going to games.
So she's got a great sense of humor. But it said, listen to this, the Mariners gave her a baseball when she was on a stretcher on her way to the hospital. That's kind of cool. But then during yesterday's game, she went back to the day game, and Julio sent her a ball through the bullpen. You can see that on YouTube as well. He wrote, "I'm sorry, get well soon" on the ball. Also, Andres Munoz found out what happened through his brother somehow, and he reached out to her on Instagram and asked her how she was doing. There's the text message right there on the YouTube feed. And then Julio reached out to her on Instagram as well.
He just apologized, and I just responded back. I'm like, there's no need to apologize. Like, you hit a home run. Like, there's nothing to apologize for. It's not like you did it on purpose, obviously. So that was pretty cool.
Nope, not on purpose. No broken bones, no concussion, but a really, again, great sense of humor, a good trooper, and a great story to tell the grandkids someday.
Honestly, yeah, it was. It's actually going to be a cool story to tell people. I got hit by a ball at a baseball game, and I got a black eye from it. So,
yeah, not a bad story to tell. For you're a true fan at that point. You're in it to win it.
Yeah, that shiner she had, that was something fierce.
I didn't see any seams on her. So maybe the other part of the ball hit her. I don't know.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 8:34. We need to check traffic with Sully.
Way to keep your eye on the ball. You go.
Oh.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, thank you. Doing what I can.
Well, she would agree. She looked it right in.
Yeah,
she jokes about it.
Should have had it. That's okay. Coming down from the north end, we're now up to an hour and a half from Everett into Seattle, with an hour and 10 of that away from Linwood, bumper to bumper from 175th and Shoreline all the way down into Seattle. It is not a pleasant day coming out of Snohomish County. Now, 405 is not as bad. Still about an hour and 5 minutes from Linwood and about an hour and 15 all the way from Everett. Northbound I-5 is manageable. The heaviest spot there right at the north end of Boeing Field. We've got about 50 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. And we're clearing out on northbound 167 past 180th. Now this crash there has moved over to the right shoulder. We're back down to under 45 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. And now to the issue that's been kind of dominating our talk, even though it hasn't been having a huge issue on the freeway. Southbound I-5 off-ramp to Thorn Lane, Berkeley there at JBLM remains closed as they continue to clean up after a truck carrying corn flipped over. Driver okay, but cited for falling asleep. If you need to get to JBLM heading out of Tacoma, you got to go down to the main gate. This report brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today, harborstone.com/cash.
And our forecast, much cooler than yesterday. We hit 95 in Seattle, only 79 today. Slight chance of a few passing showers, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun. For tomorrow, Friday, clouds early, sunshine for the afternoon as we wrap up the week, 84 tomorrow. And then the weekend, a low to mid-70s with a chance of showers both days, just a slight chance. Right now in Seattle, it's 65.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
8:36 now. Getting trapped in your neighborhood because of nearby construction or an emergency can be quite an inconvenience.
How about trapped more than 300 times a year because of regular bridge lifts? It's just a giant pain.
Sully is here with what WashDOT is doing to fix a problem for one community near the Hood Canal Bridge.
And it's for the community just north of the Hood Canal, because traveling State Route 104 through that area can be pretty challenging, because you never know when the bridge might open for boats, leaving you idling on either side of the water or really on the water for up to an hour. But when the bridge reopens to traffic, what happens is, you imagine, you got a steady stream of hundreds of cars just going through, going. If you're trying to get out of your neighborhood at the north end of that bridge, you're probably not going to be able to find a gap to actually get out onto the highway. That's why the Washington Department of Transportation has made several changes north of the bridge over the last couple of years. It added 2 new roundabouts just north of the bridge to help improve access and to cut down on the number of bad crashes created by those frustrated drivers trying to shoot those small gaps. Well, WashDOT's now adding one more thing. It has installed a traffic light for northbound 104 traffic approaching Paradise Lake Road. That's the first road, I should say, just north of the Hood Canal Bridge, where WashDOT is installing one of those new roundabouts.
The meter will activate during periods of heavy traffic when there are backups on Paradise Bay Road. So what the meter is going to do is it's going to create gaps to allow those turning from Paradise Bay Road to enter the roundabout more easily.
That's WashDOT's Mark Krulish. Again, this is Paradise Bay Road. These changes all about safety and keeping people moving.
The roundabout itself has already been a major improvement in this regard, but during those times of peak congestion, the meter will snap into action and help create those gaps.
The new traffic signal goes active on Monday. There's really no way to know when it will first turn on, though, because that's up to the bridge openings and to the traffic volumes there on Paradise Bay Road.
The meter will be active on Monday, July 27th, and then a driver might see it for the first time when there's heavy enough traffic to warrant it, and we don't know when that will be.
Now, WashDOT did not install a corresponding southbound SR 104 traffic signal in the same area. Though backups for bridge openings certainly create lines of traffic in that direction. I asked Mark about that, and he said, well, because there's several ways to kind of access 104 from south of the highway there, you've got some options. Paradise Bay really only has that one way. Nearly 17,000 vehicles use SR 104 in this spot, very popular recreation route, but this should put the wraps on the work that they've been doing, or really started with the studies on this in 2019. Now they're done with the work, cost them about $11 million. So changes coming again for those of you on Monday. Talked to Tim on one of our listeners on the text line earlier this morning, showed me a picture of that, said it's actually really helped his drive, those new roundabouts there in and around that area. So we'll see what the traffic signal does. Goes active on Monday, and again, changes hard, but I think it'll allow people to get through there a little bit better and maybe improve safety.
I think he said it's helped his blood pressure. I had no idea that was going on. I mean, just think about how frustrating that might be. Like, every day you're trying to get out of your neighborhood, you can't even turn left or right.
Yeah, and even with a roundabout, which is you're supposed to allow traffic, but sometimes, on the weekends when you get one of those really long closures for, say, like when a sub's going through there or another Navy ship, you just have hundreds of cars behind it, and they're just going and going and going. You have no way. So hopefully this will ease the boiling point a little bit.
That's one way you cook corn, by the way.
Oh, of course.
What's that?
Boiling it.
Yeah, it is. Why are you talking about corn? That's odd.
I'm curious if there's any corn-related update.
Have we talked about anything else this morning?
No, I will have a little kernel of information, though, for you. No, I don't. I have no updates. But yeah, so we're going to talk about the corn truck that overturned early this morning down in the JBLM area. That's going to be our lead traffic story coming up next.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either, because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
It's 8:43. We check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we continue to make progress on the off-ramp to Thorn Lane, Berkeley on southbound I-5, where we had that truck overturned that was carrying corn. And if you are watching our YouTube live feed, you will see that that is basically a true image of me basically
that
handling
is not you.
All of my feeds this morning. The text line, any social media, that's totally me.
That's AI.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, as David said, you appear to be like 4 feet max tall in this
and super buff.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
one of those is true.
Don't make me put a picture of you trying to kill sea lions again all over the social media feeds, which I did yesterday. But no, so we dumped a huge load of corn on that off ramp there. They've, they're clearing it up with a front loader. They're trying to get the truck, right in and out of the way. But they're still going to be dealing with this. So the bottom line is, if you're heading south of Tacoma and you need to get to JBLM and you normally get off, say, at the Madigan gate there at Thorn Lane or Berkeley, you have to go down to the main gate because that gate, that off ramp remains closed. Fortunately, not a lot of action in that corridor, so we're doing okay. And the rest of the map seems to be getting better, with the exception of the north end, and I'll get to that in a minute. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 minutes. Still have 35 of that from South Center, so those last couple of miles are going to be heavy. Rented to Bellevue's about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit under. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is cleared out really nicely. We're under 40 minutes on that drive. Now, coming out of the north end, reality. Hour and a half, Everett to Seattle, with an hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. Brake lights at 175th, all the way down into the Seattle area. 405, it's right there as you work your way down through Canyon Park. And it looks like we might have just added a new crash just north of Canyon Park. I'll have more for you on that in 10. It's about an hour from Linwood down to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
The text line, by the way, there's finally a version of this word I can use. Thank you, Steve in Seattle. You are the winner this morning with, after the accident, did the corn truck driver say, "Aw, shucks"? Now, keep in mind, we've had many variations on that word we have been not able to use on the radio. So, Steve, you win the gold star this morning.
There you go. Might see a passing shower today, much different than yesterday. Mix of sun and clouds, only 79 today. We hit 95 yesterday in Seattle. For tomorrow, early clouds, 84, sunshine in the afternoon, and then for the weekend, looks like low to mid-70s both days, with a chance of showers both days. Right now, it's 65 in Seattle.
All right, the plot thickens. G. Scott stops by next. Kevin Calabro is leaving the Portland Trailblazers broadcast team. G has a theory as to why.
That's coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
5 seconds, 4. No Russell, no foul. Russell gets off the 3, won't go. Game is over. The Sonics are on their way to Chicago. Here they come with a 90-86 win over the Jazz in the 7th game of the Western Conference Finals. The Sonics, after a 17-year absence, are back in the bus, baby, and we're on our way to the Windy City.
It was kind of a crazy time in 1995 here in Seattle sports.
What's wrong with me?
That was 1996, and you guys what team did you guys play against? The Bulls?
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Everything was cool until Gary Payton said something, and then Mike said, "Okay." All right.
Good morning, G.
Good morning, y'all.
That was Kevin Calabro we were listening to, the longtime voice of the Sonics, and most recently with the Portland Trailblazers.
Hey, look,
former announcer of the Blazers.
The Blazers. Kevin Calabro, as you all know, basically he is the he's the soundtrack of Sonics basketball.
Oh, amazing.
Well, after 9 seasons with the Portland Trailblazers, he's moving on. after reportedly turning down what he called an unacceptable contract offer. Before I keep going, you guys know I always like to relate news stories to real life. I just want to just ask this question. You don't have to answer it. Are you prepared if you go into your job and your job gives you a contract offer and it is an unacceptable contract offer? My question is are you prepared for that? Okay, back to this story. So the new owner, Tom Dundon, for the Portland Trail Blazers, he's making a lot of noise down there. And he's basically coming in. Some folks are calling him, cheap? They're calling him those things. But he's cutting expenses. That's what he's doing. You know, that's one of the things that sometimes when you talk about the budgets of state, like cutting, he's cutting.
Paul Allen owned the team, and his
sister sold it. Yeah.
So they had to sell it off, and so they got this new guy in there, and he is not playing any games.
He's not playing any games. So some people might say he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, the same guy owns the Carolina Hurricanes, the hockey team. Let me give you all a story. As far as his playbook, John Forslund, who is now the Kraken announcer, used to be the announcer for the Carolina Hurricanes, right? Well, back in 2021, they came and offered him an 83% pay cut.
Whew.
Yeah. Let that sink in for a second. 83% pay cut. He did not take that pay cut. That is what eventually brought him to the Seattle Kraken. Now, obviously, Kevin Calabro, we don't know exactly what that offer was, but all that we know is that it was an unacceptable contract offer. So one of the things that we all know, Kevin Calabro isn't just a regular announcer. He's a Pacific Northwest staple, and we all agree and know that wherever happens, he's going to land definitely where he needs to land. So, again, this is something that this Portland Trail Blazers owner is doing. I said this before. I'm just trying to find out something that's going to tell me that he wants this team to stay in Portland. My heart says he going to Vegas.
Really?
I keep saying that. I hope I'm wrong.
What does that mean for Sonics?
That's not good. Again, I hope sometimes as you get older, you get all these conspiracy theories. And I'm getting like my uncle. I'm that person now, I'll admit. So what I'm saying right now is total opinion, right? I hope I'm wrong. But the whole idea is we've been talking about Seattle and Vegas getting a team. And then every time Adam Silver goes to talk, he's tripping, right? He don't give us anything. He always delays the news and is almost thinking like, I wonder if the NBA is like, hey, we don't do two new expansion teams. We keep the money going for the owners, and we just slide over Portland over to Las Vegas.
I don't like your theory.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody's walking down the street right now like, hey, my significant other hasn't been coming home every night. I wonder what's going on.
Wouldn't it behoove them to keep a team in the Northwest? That would leave a huge void.
You would think that it would leave a huge void to have a team leave Seattle for 18 years.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
now I have in my head, though, that we might get a team back, and it could be Calabro is going to hang on, and how cool would that be?
I know. You know what I think? I think this is all just corny.
Gee, Scott.
Come on.
You didn't just do that.
Thanks for getting it on.
Come on, man. Yes. I don't know why, man. I was super excited about what you guys been doing. What's been the best you guys have heard today?
Well, some of them we can't say on the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They involve the word shucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's several related to that we cannot say fast.
Because,
or at
certainly.
all.
Right. But, we've had some good ones because we have this mess on the freeway right now.
Okay.
Sully.
Goodbye.
Well, the good news is
Thanks
I just
for
got an
stopping
update. We're still talking hours before they're going to get this reopened.
Oh, so you can talk about it during the G and Ursula show.
Yeah, all ears on G and Ursula. We're looking at, again, this is the off-ramp from southbound 5 to Thorn Lane or to Berkeley there at the north end of JBLM. Remains closed. Apparently, this truck did a bunch of, from what I'm seeing, it rode over the Jersey barrier for a while, took out the attenuator, took out some signs. They're going to have a lot of work to do there. So if you need to get into JBLM, you need to use the main gate. Heading southbound. Rest of the map, average. 50 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle, 40, Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is under 40, and we're still struggling with an hour-and-a-half drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, but the new crash we had in Canyon Park appears to have just cleared itself. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Chance of a passing shower today, otherwise mix of clouds and sun, and only 79. Right now in Seattle, it's 65.
The G and Ursula show is coming up. They are 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio. You can always text them, 888-973-5476, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, humpback whales stole the show this week. On one unforgettable evening, more than 20 humpbacks were spotted spouting across the Strait of Juan de Fuca, capped by an incredible double breach. Later in the week, fan favorites Stitch and Trident circled nearby for a full hour, treating passengers to the look of a lifetime, while Hemlock breached and slapped her long white flippers again and again. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers half-day and full-day guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Morning departures often sell out, so be sure to check out their afternoon departures as well. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, "You're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps." Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at LifePointLaw.com. That's LifePointLaw.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com. The Black Crowes, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Sunday,